heart's on fire. I'm gonna push you over the wire. Perfect timing, tight as a drum. You find the battles already won. I'm taking hold of every moment, given strength by the breath of life. I'm gonna stake my claim. I'll fight to survive. I've worked hard every night and day, so I'm prepared to make my way. Mind and body are a perfect team. Now's my chance to live my dream. I'm taking hold of every moment, given strength by the breath of life. I'm gonna stake my claim. I fight to survive.
Here. Periscope is winning? Kumate, kumate.
I've worked hard every night and day, so I'm prepared to make my way. Mind and body are a perfect team. Now's my chance to live my dream.
Isla Spider lives.
Of every moment, given strength by the breath of life. I'm gonna stake my claim. I fight to survive.
Kumate, 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 kumate.
My body's ready, my heart's on fire. I'm gonna push you over the wire. Perfect timing.
I think we're about ready, man.
You find the battles already won. I'm taking hold of every moment, given strength by the breath of life. I'm gonna stake my claim. I fight to survive.
Kumate, 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 kumate. What an important song. Zach, you missed it, but this song was like, I mean, this song saved the day last week, my friend. Everybody was about the Kumate. Nobody gave a shit about the debate. All anyone wanted to talk about was the Kumate. We got some bits from Nathan Weller. Nathan Weller asked me to shave my head again. You know, it's back. Thank you, Maddie Spice. And yeah, the hair is coming back. It's just slow. Like, it really is. Like, my neck is already, I'm at the point now where you have to go to Sport Clips and tell them, like, no, I just need the neck trim. But, like, the rest of it, I feel like if you shave your head, you really need to cut your hair once a year. Like, it's just, at least for me, it's a shave. And that was like 8 weeks ago.
I mean, what's good? Bitches, you blind. Check my watch, better be money all the time.
Nathan Weller's asking what's Keezy. Everyone's excited about your new house, by the way. I didn't even have it like listed as a thing. But I'm a little upset that we didn't get to see. I thought you were going to do this from the Firefly Funhouse I saw that you
The
were making.
Funhouse, the dungeon. What do we want to call it? We got to name it.
It was looking like, to me, it was looking like where the Fiend would live. Like, not the Funhouse necessarily where Bray would be, but the actual, like, cellar that the Fiend hangs out in. It looked a little like that. So, unfortunately, it didn't work, huh?
Bro, it was one of those things I just overestimated. I'm not even halfway done with it. There's nothing in there. I had to run electrical, network, everything. So I've been working my ass off. That's why my face is bright red.
It's like how
we're here.
It's like how this room has no ventilation or air conditioning. Like, I don't own this place. This is an apartment, so if I really wanted to, I probably would cut a big square up there and just throw a box air conditioner. But I didn't do that. This is not where I don't own this place. Geezy has a nice house, damn it. Damn it. And then that was from Maddie Spice with the Vince McMahon impression. We're leaving the Vince impression up. And then Geezy's new place isn't completed until a dog shits on the carpet.
Not true. Not true.
Nathan Weller says it. I kind of feel like I should back him up on that.
Broken Frickin' Neck got it right. He said he put the star and said Kevin. Kevin has to shit in the living room.
Kevin should go shit in your living room at least once. So it looks like when people do bits, it doesn't show up on this Restream chat. So we're using a new thing called Restream. This is the first ever quadcast, or second ever technically. I did one earlier today, where we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, we're on Periscope, which I forgot existed, but it was one of the options, so I said sure, and Facebook. So we're everywhere tonight. I am literally on 4 different things, and you can also download the podcast on 3 different places technically. You can download it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Podcast One app, which I forget exists. And yeah, Broken Freaking Neck. I forgot Periscope existed. A lot of things still exist. Things are hanging in there. Some things get announced, and I assume they flop entirely. This wasn't on my list, but have you downloaded the Peacock network?
Bro, no, I don't have Facebook. I don't have Instagram. I don't have Peacock. I don't have Quibi. None of that shit.
Trash Gamer in the chat saying that YouTube is working. He's in the chat on YouTube and on Twitch. He's all over the place. Nathan Weller donated some bits. He is letting me know that shout out to me for going 4-1 in fantasy despite injuries to Cook, Eckler, and Chubb. Impressive. I thought I was going to lose this week because in my paid league with Jason, I completely forgot that the Bills were playing tonight. And he even says like, hey, that game might get canceled due to COVID. Let me know who you want to put in place of these COVID guys. So I have Myles Gaskin on my bench. I should have put him in instead of Devin Singletary, just in case. And then I didn't have a backup receiver, but there were guys on the waiver wire that I could have picked up and said, okay, if COVID happens. So I was like all weekend like, fuck, I might lose this game because I'm an idiot who forgot what that rule even was. But it ended up working out. Wait, we're on YouTube? Broken Freaking Neck, we're on the YouTube. That means we're going to limit the content we play a little bit, but we're trying to take over the world. And to do that, we need YouTube as well. We need YouTube. We need Periscope. It's strange. I keep checking Periscope numbers. Those seem to be going up and down more than anything else. Everybody's at least maybe it just shows up on like their feed and they just look over it and hover over it, and then they scroll right through. We need to bring them in. And then Broken Freaking Neck says, I just realized these streams have been on YouTube. I do export them from Twitch to YouTube, so it is a method. Maddie Spice,
I'm a broken freaking idiot.
There's always a Macho Man impression. I did a freaking Vince McMahon impression. Oh, it's the same. It's the same thing. Oh yeah, Geezy has a new house. Dig it. So you got the new place. You traded in one mansion for the other mansion. I was telling everybody you sold your 6,000 square foot Palisade, and
yeah,
now you're moving into a 9,000 foot. Like this one actually is like the Bat Cave, right? You have that whole underground thing with the waterfall.
Yeah, dude. You've seen the picture. People will see it next week. I want to do one before I put up my flags in the background, but it's gonna look like you said, where the Fiend, like while the Firefly Funhouse is on TV, that's where the Fiend is where I'm going to be podcasting from.
That's where Mick Foley was when he was Mankind. He's like sitting with the rats and he's like cutting that promo, ripping his own hair out. Like that's where you are when you're going to be doing that. Like me, my room is similar to that. I've just put some fun stuff like an American flag trunk, got some padding right here. I mean, we're really trying to take care of this place. Shout out to Vleeties from Broken Freaking Neck. He's letting me know that, I introduced him to Bloodsport. He watched it for the first time on Saturday, and that movie is fucking awesome. Keep that in mind,
Yes.
everybody. That movie freaking rocks. And it's a new sounder, by the way. Should be up there tonight. If anyone wants to play Kumite, I believe it's just a 50-bit sounder tonight only. It's going to go up to 300 bits tomorrow. So, and then it looks like I'm also on a podcast app called Himalaya, which is pretty exciting. I've never heard of that. I didn't know. I don't know what I'm on. And then, yeah, Nathan Weller says that Geezy lives in the boiler room. That's true.
I do.
It could be. So let's go through some of the things we got. Now, I'm sure you heard this news. It's been a while. Like, I feel like a lot happened from Thursday to today. I've been busy, and in that time from Friday, we saw the Miami Heat get a huge win over the Los Angeles Lakers, and people were kind of like, okay, we have ourselves a series here, my friends. And Vleeties, is this an AJ Styles shirt? Yes, it is, man. They don't want none. If it ain't phenomenal, is that what it says? If it's not phenomenal, then they don't want none. I think this was like his second shirt when he came to WWE in 2016. So LeBron James wins his 4th NBA championship. The Lakers win their 17th championship. That ties them with the Boston Celtics for the most ever. And the most important, all right? I know I'm not really a Laker fan anymore, but come on, Celtics. Get over yourselves a lot. I was going to say get over yourselves a little bit. Get over yourselves a lot. Now, the big question going around, now there's several topics we're going to hit related to the NBA championship. I talked about it a little bit today on the Red Fraction. Do you think, now I know you haven't really been watching or you watched it all, do you think this win comes with an asterisk? I can't say this word. An asterisk? An asterisk? Asterisk? Does this win come with a? Do you think that winning the championship comes with an asterisk?
I want to say yes, just because fuck LeBron James, as all of you know. But I don't know, man. I don't think so. Like, I heard the argument the other way. Like, it's even harder to win this one because, like, all the bullshit you had to deal with. But I don't know. I consider them the champs. Everybody, they should have won from the beginning.
Right.
I was surprised the Heat even got 2 games, honestly.
Well, it was exciting. Yeah, it was exciting. Well, they were playing so well in the bubble. I know you didn't follow super closely or at all, but you're right. I don't think they should put an asterisk. Fuck that word, dude. Who made that word?
A star.
Asterisk.
Just put a star.
They should not put a star next to it because I think that, again, this was the hardest one to win. But all the teams were the same. I mean, you know, at least all the players were the same. It's not like there were a bunch of trades and moves that happened in between shutdown and restart that made the teams new. The only real differences were going to be home court advantage. Nathan Weller says, shout out to J.R. Smith for getting another championship. He put that in all caps, so he probably meant, shout out to J.R. Smith for getting a championship. And then Jimmy Butler is a monster. Yes. Yes. And then I think it went great, but yeah, Jimmy Butler looked outstanding. And I got to be honest, though, I watched Game 6. I watched the entire thing from when the puck dropped to when the final lamp rang. It really was like the Heat just did not want to play Game 6. They just were so ramped up for all the other games, and then Game 6 happened, and they were just not there. I mean, that second quarter was a bloodbath. I watched these guys. The number one play of their offense was run up to the free throw line and do like a little like dainty lob, and maybe it'll go in, but odds are it won't. Like, I don't have their shooting numbers, but they had to be shooting less than 30% from the field. It was just sloppy, and they weren't drawing any fouls, so it really was just like run up, miss it, and then the Lakers would go down and score. Okay, here we go. Let's realign, everybody. Let's get it back together. Then they would go do the kind of the same thing, mess it up, and then they got to go back. Like, it was such a mess. I don't know why. I don't understand why that was the preferred method of offense, but it was terrible. I think that the Lakers looked really freaking good in Game 6. I think they were in it every single game to a point where you were like, gosh, these guys are going to win. They were the favorites, obviously, going in. They have two of the top 5 players in the NBA, and LeBron and Anthony Davis. And although Maria Taylor wouldn't put Anthony Davis on her first 3 all NBA teams, she left him off there for some reason, and then someone called her out, and they were like, it's because I'm a woman, isn't it? It's like, no, it's because you're terrible at being an analyst. So LeBron gets that championship. I don't think he deserves that star next to it. However, this goes to boycotting and to ratings and everything, all the woke sports and everything that we've kind of been talking about for the past few months. Now, Rich Eisen brought this up yesterday on his show on Peacock Network, which I'm loving right now. Maddie Spice says, Vleeties, the charges got dropped on Kyle Rittenhouse. He did nothing wrong. I didn't even hear about that.
What?
I didn't even hear about that. Is that break? I'm moving that down to the Red Pill segment right here. Kyle Rittenhouse.
I knew he did nothing wrong. I just didn't know the charges got dropped.
And then Nathan Weller, not sure if it's the same as, I think he's saying that Kyle Rittenhouse is better than Molly Qerim. I think that's what he's saying. Or he's probably saying Rich Eisen on Peacock Network. The Peacock Network is great, by the way. I'm loving Peacock. The NBC Sports on Peacock is outstanding. Florio in the morning, and then you got Dan Patrick, who I don't listen to, but then you got Rich Eisen, then you got Brother from Another, which I don't listen to, and then you got another Mike Florio after that. It's outstanding. It's like they have like 12 hours of sports shows, so I've been diving head first into football and loving it. And with the woke sports, so here's what Rich says. Rich says, so his 2 points about the NBA Finals is if you were boycotting the game because of the social justice awareness or the Black Lives Matter painted on the court, if you were boycotting because of that, he says then you're not a fan of basketball. Now, I 100% agree with that statement, because even if I don't agree with Thank you so much, Nathan Weller. About time we got a Kumite to interrupt us. But I will say, even if I don't agree with kneeling for the anthem or protesting the flag, even if I don't agree with that, I never thought that I can boycott basketball because I really like basketball.
I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Thank you so much, Nathan Weller. But what I'm saying is, I think he's right. I think a lot of people that are like, well, no, I didn't watch the NBA Finals. I just boycotted basketball altogether. Those people aren't really basketball fans. I don't necessarily think.
10 was needed, not wanted.
Thank you so much, Maddie Spice. What are your thoughts on that? Because you didn't watch it. Like, how often do you watch the NBA Finals?
I don't know. I the finals I usually watch every year. I usually get into it in playoffs. Like, it's definitely NFL. Basketball still is probably
10
my
was
second.
needed, not wanted.
Thank you, Maddie Spice.
But and baseball is third. But baseball I usually don't watch till deep into the playoffs. NBA, I used to follow. I wouldn't watch games every night, but
right.
I used to watch First Take every single day, and they cover the NBA heavily. So like, I'd always be kind of up to date on, the stories, who's doing good, who's not.
Right.
And I think we talked about it like months ago. Like I just quit. I couldn't listen to Max Kellerman anymore. So
that's so fake. Yeah.
God.
That's Jake Sprague's here, everybody. He's taking the red pill with us right now. But I will say, and follow Jake on Twitch as well. He's hilarious. I mean, he's playing games. He's doing an awesome job. And follow him on Twitter. Oh my gosh. Get a look. And yeah, Nathan Weller just said the New York Jets released LeVeon Bell. I got that on my list here. But no, I agree with you where it is like, first of all, quarantine has definitely had an effect on sports altogether. Just as far as like baseball, I think I watched one Angel game this year. And I love baseball. I love the Angels. I think I watched one Angel game. I have watched more playoff games, but I mean, you break it down how many playoff games there's been. There's been at least 30. I've watched 4. I'm not watching it like it's the only thing I watch. Like I am watching football like uncontrollably, like I'm obsessed. And then I've kind of fallen back into wrestling pretty heavily here. Draft season and all kinds of stuff. And I even watched Talking Smack. They got me, dude. But we'll get into that later. So I kind of agree where people who are boycotting aren't necessarily fans of the sport to begin with. Same for football. I mean, there's people that are boycotting the NFL that were boycotting in like week 1 and week 2, and they're all back. I mean, there's plenty of people that have come back. Nathan Weller, 25 bits. He says, UFC! I think that's how he meant to say it. So I kind of agreed with that. But then the second part of his little rant that he went on this morning, his woke rant, was he says that The NBA only drew 5.9 million viewers for the finals, which is down for. I had the number up here. Let me go grab it. But the ratings were significantly down. I think even President Trump said they were 70% down, which isn't true. I don't think it was 70%. I think it was like 60. I know that's like nitpicky, and of course the media is going to say that is false. But I believe that it was. I believe that it was like 60%. Yeah, it looks like in 2019 the NBA Finals averaged 15.1 million viewers, with an 8.76 rating, and Game 6 on Sunday got a 2.1 rating with roughly 5.6 million viewers. So the numbers were drastically different. I mean, you're going from an 8.7 to a 2.1. That is pretty drastic. You're going from 15 million to 5 million. That's 10 million viewers who didn't come back to watch it. But what I'm Rich Eisen tried to bring this up to me, which I just didn't. I completely disagree with. He was saying that people are streaming the game now, so ratings are no longer important. Now that's fine. That's
Okay.
That's the same argument that, like, you know, people in WWE try and make, or wrestling fans all try and make. Wrestling fans all make that argument. They all make the argument that ratings don't matter. It's all about WWE Network and this and this and this and this. But the ratings freaking matter, especially when he works for the NFL. And what did the Seattle Seahawks versus Minnesota Vikings game get 12 million viewers? Like, their rating was through the roof. I mean, and it's a week 5 game between a 4-0 team and a 1-3 team. You know, so how are you trying to tell me that ratings don't matter when you're going just to the next step, when you're going just one sport over to the NFL? Suddenly the entire world wants to watch that. They would much rather watch that. So I'm wondering, I don't want to blame the entire thing on LeBron James, but is it the Black Lives Matter? Is it the woke culture? Is it the boycott? Because I think you're living proof. You did not watch this game like I did.
Yeah, for me, it's not the NBA. It's fucking LeBron James. So, like, I'm fine with all this stuff the NBA did. Like, put it on the court, even though you're agreeing with an organization that I don't like. Let them put whatever they want on the back of their names. Like, they're always been progressive, but
Yeah.
when LeBron James fucking went out and said, we as black people wake up scared every day to be killed or murdered by the police, you fucking lost me, bro.
That's
Like, I'm like, as soon as LeBron leaves the Lakers, I'll watch the Lakers again. And now the Lakers were like, you know, the center of the whole bubble, and LeBron was talking all the time. So I was like, fuck this. I don't want to watch this.
It was weird that they were going to him for politics. They really wanted him. And I know he's part of the more than an athlete deal, him and Maverick Carter. Damn it, Nathan Weller has a Vince McMahon impression, damn it. And I don't know how it gets any better than this. Take my hand and drag me head first. Fearless, damn it. And I don't know why, but with you I dance in a storm. In my best dress, damn it. Fearless. That was good. I like that song. I love that Taylor Swift song. I don't care what anyone says. It's a perfect song. But no, and I'm with you in a lot of regards as to why LeBron James is hated. And somebody even brought that up where it's like, this is the LeBron James era, and he is in the finals. He should be drawing viewers, not pushing them away. And I know that, you know, he thinks he's standing for something greater. I mean, he honestly believes, and that's the truth behind it all. He actually believes that narrative of police brutality. Black people are being hunted. They're being targeted. And a lot of it is that's what he's being told. You know, that's what he's being told. The people that he trusts are surrounding him or feeding him that information. So a lot of it I can't really put on him. Because he does. And then you know what I did enjoy, though, and I said this earlier today, but LeBron did say that this is the greatest country in the world, which I was like, thank you. Because a lot of the Black Lives Matter narrative is tear this fucking country down. It's always been racist. It's a terrible place. Systemic racism has been implemented into society. White people are racist even though they don't even know it. It's just unconscious racism, unconscious bias that exists because of the way society is. So he does believe a lot of that, but at least he took the time to let me know, hey, Vleeties, by the way, this is the greatest country in the world. So I did have a moment of like, good for you, LeBron. Like, I had that moment of like, this guy won this championship. He's still a patriot. He's just a little misinformed. We can get him back. He's not completely lost. And I even enjoyed his little promo after this. And I want my damn respect too. I was like, fuck yeah, you do. As a basketball player, he's top 10. I don't know if
dude.
I don't know if
before all this shit happened, I was a huge LeBron. I would back in the day it would be like me and Chris Allen arguing against Tyler about LeBron versus Kobe. I used to be a huge LeBron fan.
You guys were so wrong. I guess you know what? If you had one game, you would pick LeBron over Kobe.
No, one game, Kobe all day. I'd still nowadays. I think I'm woke. I would go Kobe forever.
There you go. You're woke now. Shaq or Kobe? One game.
Kobe.
I'm staying
You're a
by
big man. I know you like the big man.
I love a big guy. That was my biggest problem with the Heat. They don't have a mastodon in the paint. Honestly, basketball teams, you need to just go to the NFL and grab one of these 6'10" or 6'7" even 300-pound guys and just let them back down to Dwight Howard and then just lob it in. Like, it was so frustrating to watch these little kids try and play basketball against Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis. It was like, oh, the Lakers are so easily going to win because I got these two giants on this team. Even JaVale McGee is a pretty tall gentleman. Like, they needed a big man, and not just tall. They need they need a burly dude. They need Che.
They need some girth, damn it.
They girth, damn it. Work on your body, damn it. That upper body looks weak, damn it. It's confirmed that my favorite wrestler is Mark Henry. I liked Mark Henry. What's wrong with Mark Henry? He's a big man. And I have to be honest, his little run in 2006 where he fought Undertaker at WrestleMania, in my head, and it's confirmed on the Bruce Pritchard podcast, that Mark Henry might have been the guy to beat the streak. Because it was like, dude, imagine the push that you would get out of that. Like, Mark Henry beats the Undertaker at a WrestleMania randomly in a casket match. I mean, he would be made forever. He'd be a made man forever. There would be nobody else we would need in wrestling. Oh, it looks like I got Matty Spice. Geezy should let Matty Spice change his name from Tebow Time since the Gators got COVID, damn it. Yeah, what's up with the Florida Gators? Why are they all getting COVID shutting down? I thought Ron DeSantis opened up the entire state of Florida, and now your boys, the Florida Gators, are ruining it for everybody.
Hey, man. They didn't get the instructions. What was that, Georgia? They didn't tell them to, wear a mask when they're having sex.
Have sex with the mask on? Yeah. Nathan Weller in the chat. Sexual chocolate, damn it. Thank you, Nathan Weller. Yeah, sexual chocolate was a great gimmick. He went from, like, world's strongest man, like American Hero, I competed in the Olympics, to Nation of Domination, I really don't have a gimmick at all, to sexual chocolate, back to, hey, I won the Arnold Classic, I'm the strongest man in the world, and then he turned into, somebody go and get the ass kicked. Like, his gimmick was his theme song. That was really all it was. And then in 2011, when that Hall of Pain gimmick came around, that really saved his career. But the Lakers and the ratings, I gotta say it is because now I don't want to say it is because of the time of year. I really do think it is because of the boycotting and the social justice and the wokeness.
It has to be, man. What are other people doing? And okay, the streaming maybe 5%, maybe 10% year over year, but 60% of people aren't going to switch to streaming in 1 year. It's not going to flip.
But we would still see exactly. Yeah, it's not going to be 1 year where 10 million Americans suddenly figure out that they can use, what's this Tubi TV or Fubi or whatever. Nathan Weller, I'll fight him. Thank you, Nathan Weller. Yeah, that's the greatest rivalry in history is Sheamus Mark Henry, because it was built on, I'll fight him. So no, you're right. Where it's like, yeah, he wants to say streaming, and it's not like there used to be the ratings thing where if you go watch it in a bar, it was hard to account for how many people watched that game because we'd all be at sports bars. You'd think the ratings would go up because we're not going to bars anymore. We're just watching these games at home. You'd assume these ratings would go up. Of course, I don't know if I'm a Nielsen household or whatever. And I know they pull these stream numbers later on. But come on, Rich Eisen. Don't tell me 10 million Americans all downloaded Hulu with live sports. The Tom Brady commercial worked, everybody. Hulu has live sports. So, it's, to me, LeBron lost a lot of folks. Michael Jordan was notorious for Republicans buy sneakers too. He knew that he was an entertainer and he wanted to be the biggest star of all time in the National Basketball Association. So he did that.
Real
Vleeties is rating with a party of 13. What is going on, bro?
Thank you, Nathan Weller. And yeah, Sonic Gino, I did read your message earlier about streaming songs on YouTube. That Stan Bush song has not been
This
flagged.
can was needed, not wanted.
Thank you, Nathan. Yeah, that Stan Bush Fight to Survive has not been nobody's caught it yet. So I don't know if Stan Bush. It's not even on Amazon Music, by the way. When I went to listen to it today, it's not on Apple Music because I have a free month of that. It wasn't on any of that stuff. So this song might get us taken down. On this day, I see clearly everything's come to light. Bitter pains and a broken dream, and we'll leave it all behind. Thank you, Nathan Weller. We always need that. That always brings me back a little bit. Makes me a little happy inside. So yeah, LeVeon Bell got released. What happened? Did we take a nap? Why? So the New York football.
It was a debate.
It was a debate. Why? So Livleon Bell, I think his greatest moment as a New York Jet was when he had the flu and he went bowling with his kids. Can you imagine if someone did that now, if they had the flu or COVID or whatever? All right, I'm going to go bowling. Nathan Wella says, Geezy called me a dick on Tyler's stream. We got a beef now. Do you smell that? That's beef.
Yeah.
Did he deserve
deal with it?
He deserved
deal with
it, though,
it,
right?
I care about Tyler and I care about you, Nathan. But that was mean. Tyler was dabs and bong rips and pen, whatever you do with the pen. He was deep, and Nathan just kept him coming, and it was mean and it was rude. And Tyler's not even in the chat right now because he's probably so high he doesn't know where he is.
He's probably so high
he's lost in his own house.
Yeah, he's probably sitting in the style wondering about the mistakes that he's made. Ren Darko,
wearing his fiend mask.
Yeah, wearing the fiend mask. He hasn't taken it off. Ren Darko says, "There's a lot of beef in here, damn it! A lot of beef out here. There's so much beef. There's a lot of beef. You smell that? That's beef." Le'Veon's best moments were on the Steelers for Matty Spice. Absolutely. I mean, I don't think there's a debate. And I remember when I was actually in Tennessee I was at training, and I watched James Conner kind of have one of his breaking out games where I was like, uh-oh. I was like, do they not need Le'Veon Bell? Because Le'Veon Bell was supposed to, come back to the Steelers eventually, and he never did. And I didn't draft him in fantasy that year because I even said, my argument was fantasy football is a 16-week sport, and if he's not here week 1, I don't want him. I think it was a great move by me because he didn't show up for any of the weeks. So the Jets were halfway through his 4-year, $52.5 million deal. They gave the 27-year-old in 2019 with $27 million of it guaranteed. So does that mean the guaranteed money is run out? Like that's about half. Yeah, that is half. So he gets $27 million. There you go. He played a year and almost 4 games. Yeah. So, gosh, that's not good at all. This guy's career.
How old is he?
Well, if he was 27 in 2019, I'm assuming he's 28 now, 2020. Still a kid. In running back years, he's like 40, but I mean, there's still a year or 2 out of that, right? He might be able to pull a Fred Jackson and blossom in his early 30s. So, gosh, that's so shocking. But they did, and after this deal, it is worth noting that New York announced on May 15th that they had fired general manager Mike McKagan, and then Adam Gase became the acting general manager around that time. One disagreement between Adam Gase and Mike McKagan. Gase did not want Le'Veon Bell. So let's go back to when this deal was made. Gase was not a fan of giving one man, that much money of the salary cap. He made it clear he didn't want to spend that much money on a running back. And a lot of offenses don't need that running back. They don't need that bell cow carry the ball 20 times a game. Like, look at the 49ers. I mean, they have a flavor of the week. Raheem Mostert, Tevin Coleman, whoever wants to mix it up. They got rid of Matt Breida. He's in Miami now, but they have a roster that's not necessarily predicated on having one solid running back. The Cowboys have one running back. They really go with Zeke. They have Tony Pollard and other options, but it's clear who the main back in that offense is. So Adam Gase didn't want a feature running back. He didn't want to put his entire offense around that. Nathan Weller says, can we agree that Adam Gase has ruined Sam Darnold's career? Yeah, if he's the acting GM and their best receiver is Jamison Crowder and Eric, I mean, who's he throwing it to? He has no receivers. Like, I used to be one of these hipsters who used to say, receivers just catch the ball. It's all about the quarterback. But now I'm realizing, goodness gracious, what is happening here? He has no one to throw it to. Jamison Crowder is his main guy, and he's like, in fantasy, I'm holding on to him because it seems like he's getting 18 targets a game because he's the only competent receiver they have. What is happening? Zach, where's Antonio Brown? Why isn't he a Jet?
He should be, man. I don't know. I first want to say, LeVeon Bell can come to the Patriots anytime he wants to. But Sam Darnold, man, he got that kissing disease. That's all his fault.
You know
blame
what?
Him.
That did kind of mess him up getting that pneumonia when he did not.
Dude, I got that. Do you remember when I got that?
You had it but you didn't get it recently. You got it when we were kids.
Yeah. My God, dude, I was out of work for like almost 3 months, and I went in the hospital because like I got really sick. I went to my doctor. They told me it was strep throat. Somehow they didn't even give me a test. There's a test for that. Sent me home. A week later, I'm working out and my liver hurt, like my whole side from front to back. And I'm like, I'm gotta go to the hospital. Like, it hurt that fucking bad. And the doctor there was like, okay, stand up and jump up and down. I was like, what the fuck?
You too. You gotta do it with me, buddy. That's what I would say.
Yeah, so I did, and I was like, oh fuck, yeah, it hurts right here. He's like, oh, you got mono. I was like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you got mono. So I went, dude, my spleen was like 3 times the size it's supposed to be.
Yep.
It was so big that they were like, yeah, you can't drive in a car for like 3 months because if you get in a fender bender, the seatbelt will rupture your spleen and you'll die before you get to the hospital. I was like, dude, freaked out. So they sent me home with a prescription for Vicodin, and they said stay in bed for 3 months, which I did.
3 months?
3 months, dude. I didn't leave my house. And then I had to get cancer screenings for 6 months because it can turn into cancer. It's no fucking joke.
And you didn't even have to play in the NFL. I mean, that's insane. Oh, my goodness. So you're fine now. That's good. Sam Darnold seems like he's still going through the first 3 months. He hasn't. And King James, we're even going to get to we're going to get to wrestling. I mean, obviously, I have a bunch of wrestling stuff. I wanted to hit the NBA, and then, of course, Le'Veon Bell gets released. The very next thing is wrestling. Don't go anywhere, folks. Hold on to your butts. And then we'll hop into wrestling. I'll copy this note down. Broken Freaking Neck, because Broken Freaking Neck gave us some bits to talk a little bit more about Mark Henry, one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion. But you're fine. Goodness gracious. I do kind of remember that because I remember not seeing you for a long time, and then you were like really excited to come out. But yeah, the Jets, obviously this is an organization in turmoil. The Le'Veon Bell thing was a disaster. They lost Jamal Adams. Like, it just seems like they only keep guys they don't want to keep. They even let go of Robbie Anderson, who's now tearing it up. Robbie Anderson looks great in Carolina. I'm shocked when I'm looking through the fantasy numbers and like, why the fuck is Robbie Anderson doing anything? Like, he's a nobody. He's a scrub. And he's doing great. It's kind of fun to see. And Nathan Weller and even you in the chat here, Rex Ryan, I mean, 2 AFC championships. I know that he had one of those coaching careers that was like shot right up and then just collapsed. So you only get like a 5-year span when you do that. Because it seems like Adam Gase has been coaching he was in Miami, then he moved to the Jets. Like, he's just moving from worst team to worst team, and nobody's like saying, hey, maybe it's you. What is this? Like,
seat's getting hot.
Yeah, man, it's time. Well, did he get fired? Because I know that Dan Quinn got fired. That's not in my notes here, but Dan Quinn finally got the boot. He finally got the boot from Atlanta. It had been a long time coming. Dan Quinn, great defensive mind. I'll give him that. I think that he
except for when he gave up a what was the lead? 21-3 in the
Well, that's what I mean. Great defensive mind when he only has to focus on the defense. Once you say, hey, you're the head coach, worry about all the stuff, loses it. But when he was in Seattle, they had Legion of Boom. Their defense was outstanding. He was a hot coaching commodity after the Legion of Boom, and he came to Atlanta, and it seems like he forgot defense. Like, I don't know. Call me crazy, but there's just not. There's no defense there. I don't know who.
Well, they should be able to outscore anybody,
Well,
but they're not.
And Nathan, well, he's saying the Browns making the playoffs. I think so. I think that they're going to be
Possible.
They're going to be one of the wild card teams because there's 3 wild card teams. So I think we're looking at possibly the Ravens and the Browns for sure, and then the Raiders. I think those are the 3 wild card teams right now. Who would take that cake? We can go division through division, but not to get too far removed from. Oh man, I even wrote it down. I was like, don't forget to finish what you were saying. What the hell are we talking about? Jets?
Jets, Jets.
I don't remember. Nathan Weller can tell me later on. But either way,
We're talking about LeVeon.
well, we had moved on. I was about to make another point, and then I read the fucking chat. Can we get some love for the Arizona Cardinals? Sure, love them. Okay, let's do the Browns first. All right, we'll do all that later. Mark Henry's fake retirement speech was outstanding. Broken freaking neck. He came out and he was like, "A Silsby, Texas boy done proud." I was really like, "Wow, Mark Henry's retiring." And then as soon as he was like telling Cena to like stay in the ring and trying to keep Cena around, I was like, "Is he gonna do something?" But it was a great moment. I think everybody was shocked. However, it was just one of those, "Hey, Tyler Spider lives.
He's alive.
He lives, and he wants me to hydrate. I can't find my water." So Tyler Spider, do this one with me too. He is alive. This water's for you, podcasters.
So Tyler can't type, but he can redeem some stuff.
There we go. He can click a few things. That's
doesn't
all
know
he
where
needs
is.
to do. So the New Day broke up. Zach, I know you haven't been watching wrestling, but and everybody kind of is talking about it in the chat already. The WWE 2020 draft was a bummer.
It was a bump, dude. You can spoil it for me. I don't care. I just want to know who's where. Just talk.
It's
about
not
it.
even fun to like tell you who's where. So Nathan Weller says that Tyler is saying that he needs to hydrate, and Tyler is saying he had to lay down for a little because he died because he was like. That's the problem when you have like you can use like stream points or bits to do some weed. There's always a Nathan Weller out there who's gonna make sure you're doing a lot of the weed, so or wax or whatever he smokes. That pen shit, I know. Whatever, kids. So the New Day breaks up. And that was kind of, at least for me, night one takeaways. That was kind of the big like, whoa.
Wait,
Now-
what is the New Day?
Come on,
Did I just not know about them because I watch Hulu?
maybe because they've been Xavier Woods has been hurt for a while. Kofi has been hurt. So the New Day is the eight-time champions. They were the 8-time tag team champions. Big E Langston, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, three hilarious black gentlemen. And then Nathan Weller says, I think he wants me to do my Jericho impression. Big E! But Big E is staying on SmackDown while the Xavier Woods and Kofi go to Raw to still be a tag team. So they're sticking them as a tag team. Big E's finally getting a solo run. It was just kind of the weirdest way to break up this trio.
See, I only know Big E as solo. Since I've been watching, I've seen Big E and nobody else.
Guys, holy shit. A CIA whistleblower just showed proof that Obama and Biden were responsible for killing SEAL Team 6. Now, this CIA whistleblower sounds like an anonymous source, if you ask me. It doesn't sound like anything that we can find any proof on. Can we throw a fake news? Yeah, fake news flag. Throw it. Fake news is dangerous, Trash Gamer, everywhere. King James says it was Hillary, pal. I don't know if he said it in his Vince impression, but it probably was. So, yeah, New Day, they've been a tag team forever. They're a trio. Kevin says, how's that fake? We need proof, Kevin. We can't just take words from Trash Gamer that are highlighted. So, the New Day breaks up. And just this draft, night one. Now, I brought this up a little earlier. They do a couple rounds of this draft, which I don't like. I don't like this the way they're doing the rounds. Now, Zach, Raw is a 3-hour show. SmackDown is a 2-hour show. So the way they do it is Raw gets a pick, SmackDown gets a pick, Raw gets a pick, SmackDown gets a pick, and then Raw gets a 5th pick. So it's like they get 3, SmackDown gets 2, end of the round. But then they go to round 2, and Raw still gets the first pick. SmackDown gets the second pick. It's like this weird, like, nobody figured out how to make this like look at least a little bit legit, or even try and snake it in some sort of way. Like, like maybe go SmackDown gets the first pick, and then Raw gets 2, and then SmackDown 1, then Raw 2. Like, it just, the way they're doing it makes it like just completely unfair to SmackDown, and it really does show. I think it shows tremendously. What do you think?
Okay, but you know, I mean, that's assuming that somebody's walking up there and picking somebody, and it's not already all pre-planned.
No,
Come on,
no,
man.
it's all pre-planned. Sonic Gino, the Nation of Domination had a gimmick. I'm saying that Mark Henry did not have a gimmick. He was just the big black guy in the Nation of Domination. He didn't have like a thing. He was like, he might as well have been Farouk. There was really nothing to him. Farouk was the leader. He had a gimmick. What was D'Lo's gimmick? Wearing a chest protector? Nothing there. So yeah, I know it's predetermined, and I do miss, I think it was last year or the year before, where they did the draft and they had fake executives from Fox and fake executives from USA Network, like in the war rooms, and like someone would get a pick and they'd all like, I wish I had some papers. They would like bring stuff up and go, we lost him. Like they were like really like into this draft, like it was like an actual NFL draft. But this one just fell flat. Like even if I go through these results real quick, it was just not a good. Now I will say I enjoyed SmackDown and Raw. I watched 3-hour Raw this week because Hulu, the app, kept crashing, and I was like, I'm done. Give me all the stuff. And now I have to ask, and you wouldn't know the answer to this. I don't know what's being cut from Real Raw to Hulu, because it was a great 3 hours. I was all the time I'm watching, and I go, oh, what do they cut? And I'm like, Kevin Owens.
Get a look at greatness.
Vleeties, AJ went to Raw. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad that AJ's back on the Red Show.
Boo.
So, but I was a little shocked about, like just the way that, first of all, the reaction to the draft. Yeah, like I think the draft itself was a little bit like, whatever. But Charlotte Flair and Andre delete post-draft tweets. I don't know what that means. I do like going through. I do like going through like some of these news stories that they put. Like they're not really news, but like we might as well just like post this on our website. Like it's hilarious to me. And Raw was outstanding. That's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, what would they cut? And I really think that I haven't seen Aleister Black in weeks, and he must just whenever on the Hulu cutting room floor, whenever they see him, they just cut it. There's no need for them to keep him on there. I guess that's what it is. And then yeah, Sonic Gino in the chat. Otis and Tucky. Oh, Tucky. I watched Talking Smack, okay? So SmackDown ends, and Michael Cole tells me there's going to be another round of draft picks on Talking Smack. So I avoid spoilers, and I go, you know what? I can't wait to watch that. So I go to watch Talking Smack, and it was hilarious. It was outstanding. Otis walks up and calls Caleb Braxton, oh, my spicy pepper. Yeah. Nathan Weller says he hates Otis. I think you hate Otis as a Mr. Money in the Bank. I think you don't mind Otis as a mid-card comedy
He's just
relief.
Jealous of Otis.
For a long time. Gump Nasty 13, welcome to the crew, my friend. Welcome to the faction. But it was a kind of a fun moment. Sami Zayn's being a heel on Talking Smack, and then Tucky finds out he's going to Raw right in front of Otis, and like right in this moment where I don't understand the obsession with breaking up tag teams in the WWE, and especially breaking them up in this fashion. And I was like, you haven't been watching wrestling for you missed like a decade, and this was the decade of, hey, let's bring up a tag team from OVW or NXT, and let's just break them up for no reason, no real explanation. Like, I remember the 2006 roster shakeup. It wasn't a draft. It was just some sort of a talent exchange. Might have even been 2005. But like, the Basham brothers were split for some reason.
Come on, catch the buzz, feel the sting.
Nathan Weller's hosting the stream. Thank you, Nathan. They were broken up, and then like the Heartthrobs were broken up for some reason. Like every tag team, La Resistance was split. Rob Conway and Sylvain Grenier went different ways. It was just this weird, like, why are we just taking every team and cutting them down the middle? Like I don't understand that. You know, if you want to have tag team titles in a tag team division, you need to keep some tag teams. Heavy Machinery, did they even get title? They never really had like a title, a tag team title match angle. You know, they were never serious contenders for the gold, so it's kind of odd that they're already being broken up. Enzo and Cass were a tag team for a year, and at least they had a fun storyline on how they broke up. But there's this weird Vince just likes singles wrestlers and doesn't understand the tag team, I guess. But I feel like if Bruce has complete creative control, he wouldn't be doing this to all these tag teams. He's from Houston wrestling. He knows what a tag team represents. And it's interesting how some tag teams he can always go back to. Like the Dudley Boys never did a breakup. They did a draft, so they did get split up by the draft, but Vince realized we got to put these guys together, and he kept them together for the rest of the time. So how come he hasn't learned from that? Like, sometimes Otis and Tucker need to stay together. It just makes sense to have those guys together. I like that Tucker is a lawyer. I don't understand. Broken Freaking Neck says it was 2006. I think so. And I remember that 05 draft, but there was like a supplemental draft or some shit where they broke up every fucking tag team. It was on WWE.com exclusively. I remember. Vleeties, when The Miz and Morrison broke up during the 2009 draft, that draft was great because Miz got the chance to break out as a singles wrestler. I wasn't watching that year, but
I don't like The Miz. Fuck Miz.
The Miz has his moments. I got to be honest. I think him and Johnny Drip Drip have really just grown. They've grown so stale for me. I just don't want them to be together. I'm a huge John Morrison fan. I'm a huge Johnny Impact, Johnny Mundo fan. Like, I remember one of the SmackDown versus Raw games, he was the WWE champion because I played him. Yeah, Tyler Splida, I wanted Morrison to win the belt. Like, this guy used to be a main event player, and then he leaves the company and wins world championships and other promotions. And then he comes back and he's immediately thrusted into a tag team with The Miz again. And it's like, no, The Miz is floundering. Why are you bringing back this other guy to just team with The Miz? They weren't, and I guess they were a tag team for like 3 years, but I didn't remember that. I don't care. I don't want them to be a team. So you haven't watched all wrestling yet, but dude, Lars Sullivan is back. Did you see any of the Freak?
No, I haven't. I don't.
You're lucky. I'm proud of you. Now,
I don't even know what day it is, to be honest.
Kevin loves Lars Sullivan. I can't stand this guy. He's just... Lucha Underground was great. I missed that show, says Nathan Weller. I 100% agree. I do miss having that. Like, we talk about true alternatives. That was an alternative. It was shot differently. The angles, the storylines were way different. And Trash Gamer says that Trump has been retweeting the CIA stuff. But I'll dig into it later, Trash Gamer. It's hard to be live stream and just go, erase every note that I have, focus on what might be true about the CIA. Now, Kevin says it's true. So, I mean, it probably is. But still, another team breaks up on Raw. That's what it says here. So, Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado were drafted to Raw. Kalisto staying on SmackDown. Like, it's just nonstop. We have to use these drafts to break up a tag team and not really give... Billie Kay is going to SmackDown. Her and Peyton Royce were already broken up. It's too... And then Eric is on Raw, but isn't Ivar out with an injury or something? Isn't that what's going on? So, yeah, all around, not really super... the way the draft should go, and like, Raw has Keith Lee, Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Ricochet, The Miz, and John Morrison. Like, Raw, The Fiend was the first pick tonight. Like, Raw really on last night, they got Matt Riddle, they got Jeff Hardy. It really seemed like they beefed up Raw, and SmackDown really went back to, I mean, they call it the land of opportunity, but it seems like it's going to be the land of Roman Reigns as the champion until WrestleMania, when maybe we can build up a Big E, maybe we can build up a Dominic Mysterio, we can get some new blood to really...
Just fucking... Where did Dominic end up?
He's on SmackDown.
Just 10 was needed, not wanted.
With Seth? Is Seth on SmackDown?
Thank you, Nathan Weller. Yes, Seth is there too.
God damn it. I don't want to see them fight ever again.
Yeah, and that's the thing is a lot of people were very upset. They had that same reaction that you did. Like, it was refreshing for like 5 minutes because Seth Rollins hasn't wrestled on SmackDown since like 2014 or something, or 15, 16 probably. That was when they did that draft. So it was like this big deal. Like, Seth Rollins is finally leaving Raw. He's going to SmackDown. I mean, his nickname was Monday Night Rollins for a while when he was a good guy. So it's like, yeah, he's like a Raw guy. He can't go to SmackDown, but it was refreshing. The Monday Night Messiah is now the Friday Night Messiah. It just made sense for that to all, for him to go there. and greatness. And then Nathan Weller, yeah, I found out on Talking Smack that Buddy Murphy is also going to SmackDown. So all of the stuff that we've seen on Raw, oh yeah, Broken Freaking Neck, Seth was on SmackDown.
Go on, catch the buzz, feel the
Oh,
sting.
Jordo, thank you for the host, Jordo. I appreciate it. Swag to the max, my friend. Yeah, Seth was on SmackDown in 2019 during the wild card rule era. I do remember that awful. I'm a genius, damn it. The wild card rule. 3, 4, however many superstars. You go to Raw, to SmackDown, SmackDown to Raw. The ratings are down. Maybe having this random ass rule nobody understands will help it out. That's really what it was. And it made like it made Kofi as WWE champion feel such the second fiddle to Seth. Seth was Universal Champion, and he felt like Kofi's dad. Talk about white supremacy. That's where it was right there. It was like, hey, Kofi's champion. We need the other champion to go to SmackDown and help him out. Nathan in the chat says, we need to bring back general managers. I think we at least need to bring back commissioners. I liked having Stephanie as the commissioner of Raw and Shane as the commissioner of SmackDown. We can have Adam Pearce be the goon who just announces the matches on both shows. I don't mind that, but it's just, yeah, it was just a little silly. In my opinion, it was just a little silly to get rid of general managers altogether, and nobody knows who's really making matches. Taya Valkyrie and John Morrison in the WWE or somewhere together on TV. I do agree. Taya should come to WWE. She's wasting her time in Impact. I didn't watch Impact tonight, Sonic Gino, but it's obvious. I mean, to me, that's obvious. But yeah, the draft was insanely underwhelming, and you're right. We're gonna get more Dominic Mysterio. We're gonna get more Murphy, more Aaliyah Mysterio, more Seth Rollins. Him going to SmackDown seemed cool for a minute, and then it was like the very next round was Tyler Spider is so high, damn it. Way too high, Tyler. Get off the weed, my friend. Get off the weed, pal. So yeah, it's kind of stupid. Yeah, they're gonna keep fighting. I don't mind it. I don't mind the storyline and the implications. I like Aaliyah Mysterio, but yeah, I agree. Where it's like, yeah, there's just come on. We've moved on. We're over this. There's no need.
It's like, dude, like since I've started watching, that's every week, it seems like every show I see either Seth or Murphy or Ray or Dominic fight a combination of the other. Like,
yeah,
there's been a Hell in the Cell. What else? Can we just do a death match? Can somebody just kill somebody finally?
With Hell in a Cell coming up, I mean, hey, we can do a tag team Hell in a Cell match together. I wonder if this pay-per-view is going to be exclusively Hell in a Cell matches. They've never done that. Hell in a Cell is always like 2 Hell in a Cell matches. So far, they've already announced 3. We already have Drew McIntyre versus Randy, Bayley versus Sasha, and what's his name? What are their names? The guys fighting for the other belt on the Blue Show? Roman and Jey Uso. This way, Uso. This way. They're gonna have. They're in Hell in a Cell. We have 3 already. I mean, why not just go all out? It's needed, not wanted. And then Nathan Weller's.
I can't tell you how much I want Jay to win that match.
I think we all really want to see Jay win the belt now, just because it would be so random. He just can't talk on a microphone. That's his only problem. If he could figure out how to talk on a microphone, he'd be great. Nathan Weller says for 25 bits, I'm sure we all don't mind looking at Aaliyah Mysterio. Roll Tide. So, okay. If you listen to Conrad Thompson, that's his thing. Whenever he sees a hot chick, Roll Tide on that. And how, he'll talk about how Roll Tide Sable was looking on a certain show or something. So yeah, I mean, that's from the draft. I can't wait to watch. We're watching Dynamite tomorrow. I guess we'll just have to watch Dynamite. With Cody Rhodes was on Rich Eisen today. I didn't hear it yet, but we'll have to check it out. So let's get red pilled real quick. A lot of hatred, a lot of daggers have been thrown around about the second stimulus check. Now I know I necessarily don't need the second stimulus check. I would say this is wanted, not needed. Greatness! Vleeties is over AEW. I think the Jericho 30 show finally was like, that was the series finale of AEW for me, even though this is the season premiere this week. I'm not interested anymore. We did it. Now that Lance Archer is like fighting Dean Ambrose or John Moxley in a main feud, it's like, I think we did it. I think we finally have realized why WWE is superior in every way. AEW is clearly the land of the misfit toys. Nope, not about it.
just 10 was needed, not wanted.
wanted. Thank you, Nathan Weller. Yeah, it's like AEW Dynamite is wanted and not needed, at least for me right now. But yeah, what I was saying about the stimulus, the second stimulus is is a no-go for the old Democratic Party. They're not giving us that stimulus check. Now, Donald Trump did announce on Twitter, as he tends to do, that what was his plan? $1.8 trillion. I mean, that's a pretty big stimulus package. Now, it seems like instead of just saying yes, Nancy Pelosi. And I just like that Fire Fist wrote this. Get a look, hey greatness. I just like that he wrote it in the chat. And Jake Sprague has left the chat, I believe. However, this is when the red pill stuff starts to happen. So everybody on Facebook, Periscope, we're gonna get a little red pilled here, all right? Now look, we all have the freedom of speech. I'm just saying these are videos that I find, I watch them. I believe that I do lean more to the right. Zach, I know you lean to the right with me. Sometimes if we were like on a seesaw and we're like slowly going down to the right, sometimes we do go full right. We just let it roll, baby. We just take that red pill and wash it down with some red Gatorade. But then there are times where I do start leaning to the left. I can't say that I don't ever have thoughts that are liberal. I can't say I don't ever agree.
That's what me and Kevin need to save you.
Yeah. Well, hey, when Donald Trump's talking about how great the Walter Reed Hospital is and how COVID isn't as bad as everybody's saying, I'm like, dude, you went to the nicest hospital I've ever seen in my life. I will never be at a hospital that fancy. If some guy in Pueblo, Colorado gets COVID, he's not going to that hospital. If some guy in where are we from? But if some guy in San Dimas gets COVID, he's not. I mean, he might find a hospital similar. I would go to Kaiser. All right, that's where I would be if I was still in California.
But you got to go back to your point, man. You could if you wanted to.
Oh,
you have the choice.
I do have the choice. And yeah, Kevin's saying it's a fucking flu. You don't need Walter Reed. And then also you agree with Trump that Walter Reed is great. Yeah, Walter Reed looks like a phenomenal hospital, phenomenal institution. I don't care. Bernie Sanders are trying to tell me it's a government-funded building. I don't care. I don't care who pays. I pay for everything.
About abortion. Sorry, tell me how this works. Bacteria is life on Mars, but a heartbeat isn't life on
Tyler's
Mars. Weird.
Giving up. He's just playing sounders and
I love
sending
Tyler.
emojis.
You know what, Tyler, though?
And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Just those two sounders, I'm voting for Trump tomorrow. Okay, either way. So let's read the story a little bit. There's a video that goes along with it. Again, $1.8 trillion is significant. Americans have been saying they want more money. A lot of them are being evicted. JT said that 40% of Floridians are facing eviction this month because they don't have enough money to pay. So, I have the whole transcript here, but I want to watch the video because it really is like, wow, CNN, first of all. Holy shit, broken freaking neck. Okay, Ultimate Warrior! Cause the player's gonna play, and the haters gonna hate. I'm just gonna shake. I shake it off! Heartbreakers are gonna break! Break. And the fakers are gonna fake. I'm just gonna shake. I shake it off! That sounded good.
Lee Swift.
Dude, that's me for sure. Right as we have the Nancy Pelosi video up, just bring me back to Ultimate
now
Warrior.
Now start the Fiend song.
Yeah, Ultimate Warrior. Yeah, everyone pull up the Fiend. We're going to do Fiend of the Week. Here we go. But this is CNN. I got to be honest, I'm a little shocked that this is a CNN thing. Wolf Blitzer is going hard at her. And I don't know if Wolf Blitzer is running for office somewhere or if he's trying to get his Twitter followers up. But he is going red pill hard. And he's just going like, this is about the people, Nancy. Give the people their money. Give Donald Trump a call and get a deal done right now.
Her face says, it was a debate.
Yeah, this whole thing was just a debate. So I'm curious. I watched a little bit of this. We're not going to watch the whole 13 minutes. But I do like hearing. Thank you so much, Ayako. Sup, boys? We've been
boys.
So let's check this out real quick.
Let the states go bankrupt.
Excuse me for
Let
interrupting.
the states go bankrupt.
Madam Speaker, but
I'm speaking.
really need the money right now, and even members of
I
of your own
understand that, but
but even
if
members
you
of
ask
your
me a
own caucus,
question-
even members of your own caucus, Madam Speaker, want to accept this deal. $1.8 trillion. Congressman Ro Khanna,
Wait a
for
minute,
example. But let
wait a
me
second.
just quote Ro Khanna, a man you know well. I assume you admire him. He's a Democrat, and he just said this. He said, "People
way
in
to
need
assume.
can't wait until February. $1.8 trillion is significant and more than twice the Obama stimulus. Make a deal. Put the ball in McConnell court." So what do you say to Ro Khanna?
What I say to you is, I don't know why you're always an apologist, and many of your colleagues apologists for the Republican position.
See, isn't that weird? Isn't that weird how immediately she doesn't answer the question, but more so shifts the blame from her to him? And even if that is the case, that, yeah, why is he on the side of the Republicans? At least answer that question first. You have to refute his point before you can attack him. So, I mean, Ro Khanna wants this thing to go through. We have Democrats who believe that $1.8 trillion is enough money to handle the needs of everybody right now. A lot of people, like we said, need to pay rent. $1,200 would be outstanding. Even $1,000. I mean, you can give me anything right now, I'll be happy. It'd be great. So the fact that she doesn't even want to just admit, like, you know, she immediately attacks Wolf and CNN, which is odd. Like, why would you attack essentially your news company for targeting or for being an apologist of the Republic? Like, this is your station. You should be loving these guys. And this is a real question that all you have to do is remain calm, number one, and then go through, look, Wolf, here's why we don't like the 1.8 trillion. We have a 2.4 trillion dollar plan, but it includes this, and this. The 1 point whatever trillion doesn't have that in there. And we think it's important, and we want to get that done, and we're trying to get it done. Give me a deadline. Don't say February. That's way too long for the American people. And then Gump Nasty in the chat says she hasn't been by the media for 4 years now. Yeah, she hasn't been challenged by the media for 4 years. Yeah, she's been on vacation for 4 years, just saying, people will do what they do, huh? Like, you know, when they
come down to Chinatown.
Come down. Yeah, whenever they're asking her about rioters, she's like, people are gonna do what they're gonna do. And then
we've been shitting in the streets for years.
I can't believe I was tricked by a hair salon.
O'Connor, that's nice. That isn't what we're going to do, and nobody's waiting till February. I want this very much now.
Let's do
because
it.
People need help now. But it's no use giving them a false thing just because the president wants to put
Nathan Weller cheered 25 for "This is a not good, oh boy."
A check with his name on it in the mail that we should.
See, now this is the ultimate point, I believe 100%. And let me rewind it a second.
False thing just because the president wants to put a check with his name on it in the mail that we should not be doing.
That's what it is, though. She's saying that the checks will have Donald Trump's name on that and make Donald Trump look good. So I'm wondering. So I believe, thank you, Nathan Weller. I believe that's the real malfunction at the junction. Is she doesn't want everyone before the election to get a fat check from Donald J. Trump that says, you know, hey buddy, vote for me. Here's some money. By the way, your taxes are going up next year to pay this back. Like, that's all it really is. I don't know why people think this money's being pulled out of someone's ass. It's being pulled out of our own asses. So, I think that's the biggest hiccup here, is that she doesn't. I believe. Thank you, Tyler Spider. I believe that's the biggest thing. I believe that's what it is. What if Donald Trump was able to put "From America"? Thank you, Tyler Spider. What do you think? That's probably the truth of it, right? "From America."
Yeah.
That would help her out.
Yeah. Dude, November 7th, there will be a stimulus check sometime.
All we can to help people pay the rent and food on the table.
I always think of the podcast listeners. Like, when I re-listen to this on the podcast, I love it. But I'm here live experiencing it. So I can only imagine like they're trying to hear this Nancy Pelosi clip, and I have to keep pausing it because we're all going Kumite, 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 Kumite.
I need some
Enhanced
bricks I can
benefit.
punch.
Yeah, dude. Hey, brick don't hit back though. Just remember that.
It's that they don't lose their jobs if they're state and local. We're talking about the consequences of a pandemic, the
Yeah.
symptoms of a problem
Yeah.
that the president refuses to address.
But you know,
and that is
Madam
that
Speaker,
is the coronavirus.
We know,
that is
we
the
know
coronavirus.
the problem out there, but there are millions of Americans who have lost their jobs. They can't pay the rent.
Yup.
Their kids need the food.
That's right, and that's what we're trying to get done.
$1.8 trillion, and the president just tweeted, stimulus, go big or go home. He wants even more right now, so why
That's
not?
right.
Why not work out
That's
a deal
right.
with?
I even have a note in my. I have a thing in my notes here about like, would you be like, would you rather sit down on a plane for like 6 hours next to Biden or Trump? And I was kind of like, I don't know. I feel like Trump might actually get on my nerves at some point. But then he tweets out something like that, and I'm like, this guy is me. I feel like 1.8 trillion stimulus, go big or go home. Like he just fucking gets it. He's American as apple pie, baby. Like I don't know. Like answer that question. Who'd you rather be stuck on a plane next to for 6 hours?
Trump, but I got in a similar place this week of like getting burnt out on Trump, but I can't, like, you just can't deny his policies and everything he's done is just so great.
That's
like,
the problem. Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like,
give a fuck anymore.
when people vote based on like I don't like this guy, then yeah, obviously like don't go for Trump. If you're basing it on like who would you rather have a beer with, yeah, it's probably a little harder to vote for Trump. However, I'd probably have a beer with Trump after fucking that tweet. Go big or go home, buddy. Vleeties, I have a video for you, but you got to skip to 4:30. What does that mean? How cryptic? How cryptic? What does he mean by that? Oh my gosh, it's WWE stuff, Nathan. We're on YouTube tonight. But I'll go to 4:30 and we'll do it. Oh yeah, okay, I know what he's doing. Okay, let's finish up with Speaker Pelosi.
Him, and don't let the perfect, as they say here in Washington, be the enemy of the good.
Well, I will not let the wrong be the enemy of the right.
What's wrong with $1.8 trillion?
Well, you know what? Do you have any idea what the difference is between the spending that they have in their bill and that we have in our bill? Do you realize that they have come back and said all these things for child tax credits and earned income tax credits or helping people who have lost their jobs are eliminated in their bill? Do you realize they pay no respect to the fact that child care is very important for people whose children cannot go to school because they're doing remote learning, and yet they minimize the need for child care, which is the threshold with which people, mothers and fathers, can go to work if they have that? Do you have any idea of how
That's precisely why,
woefully
Madam Speaker.
short
Wait,
they're
pause it.
concerned?
Yeah.
So she's not for opening the schools, but she's for funding daycare.
Yes, that's exactly what
So
I heard
what's
too.
the difference?
Yeah,
Let's spend money to open daycares, but let's ignore all the taxes that I fucking pay for schools to be open.
That's what I was very confused about during that whole point. Was like, wait, why are we paying for childcare if no one's going to work? Like, I thought this money was for the people who've lost jobs, who can't go to work, so they just need money. So I mean, I know there's several different things of it. I thought it was like a blanket. Like everybody gets this much money. Is there like, if you're like low income, do you get more money than I do?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's being in Utah. Like, I don't know anybody here that's lost their job. So, and I definitely don't know of anybody who lost their job because they couldn't have their kid taken care of. Like,
I actually just got a new job, so I'm like the worst person to ask about this. So, because yeah, exactly. Like, oh, pandemic time. It's like, hey, we need a sales rep in Texas. All right, I'm in. So yeah, it's. I'm trying to. There have been people that have lost their jobs. I'm not going to say that.
So do you not work for the big shipping company?
I don't work for the big purple company anymore. We've moved on. That ship has figuratively and literally sailed. I no longer work there. I had a great career there. I'm very thankful for my time and the way they've taken care of me. But
fuck that place.
No. But you know, I'm moving on. It's time to move on, and I do need to bring home some more bread because as a conservative, I do believe that it's up to me to take care of my family and provide them with health care. And food. You know, I try not to rely on the federal government for anything. I really don't want them. If they have this, and my taxes paid for the stimulus shit too. So yeah, give me a stimulus. I don't care. Like I was even talking to my cousin.
Just paying myself.
I was talking to her over the weekend, and I was just saying, like, I would love it if I had no taxes, and if I wanted to send my kid to a public school, I just had to pay for it, like out of my paycheck directly. It would just be, oh, you sign up to go to the school, now you got to pay for it. You know, like I would be more okay with that than the way they're doing it now. Like, geez, like it's so ridiculous how people get a tax refund and they're like, thanks, government. No, they took the money from you all year.
Mine to begin with.
Yeah, that was already your money. It's called a tax refund. It should be called it should be called, hey, thanks for spotting us.
They should get charged a penalty for that.
Thanks for
like,
spotting
where's my
me.
interest?
Yeah, thanks for spotting me. $5,000 throughout the year. It's like, you're giving me $1,000 back. What happened to the other $4,000? Because I make more money now. Like I get punished.
I get in that argument with people all the time who like, they're like, oh man, I'm struggling. I don't make enough every week. And they're like, but you know, like at the end of the year, I get like $5,000 back and I pay off all my credit cards. I'm like, then adjust how much is getting taken out and just get the money when you need it, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm so all over the place of just like when it comes to taxes and spending, and yeah, that's probably what makes me truly conservative is how I view my own money and how I view government spending. It's just don't put like, here's my wallet is a kitchen, okay? I don't need any other chefs in here, all right? It's my money, I earned it. Let me just keep it. Like if you want some extra money, or if the government needs some money, at least let me know what it's going to. Give me an option to choose what I want, because I can't stand the fact, and I know I'm the anti-abortion guy. I can't stand that my money goes to abortions. It makes no sense. Why is there federal funding for Planned Parenthood? I don't understand that. I don't understand. Now, I think that we talk about like being able to choose what you pay your taxes to. I think if you support abortion, you can absolutely support it if you want. It could be something that comes directly out of your taxes. Why not? Am I crazy? I don't understand that. Like, hey, you guys want to defund the police? That's fine. I'll increase my taxes more to cover you. But now you don't get to call 911 like I do.
I'm a preferred customer here. Yeah. I get a faster 911
I'm
response.
a 911 gold member, so keep that in mind. Yeah, you guys can get the social workers to come to you when somebody attacks you. I need the police. So can you imagine calling 911? What's the situation? Oh, my husband's trying to attack me. All right, we're going to send a social worker over. All right, let's work this through. Like, no, it's whatever. Okay, I didn't mean to get into that tonight. This is about the stimulus. We still have them on our screen. It's still these two above us. But you're so right. Why are we paying for childcare if people aren't supposed to be going to school?
That's why it's so important right now. Yesterday I spoke to Andrew Yang, who says the same thing. It's not everything you want,
but you know
but there's a lot there.
Honest to God, you really, I can't get over it, because Andrew Yang, he's lovely. Ro Khanna, he's lovely. They are not negotiating this situation. They have no idea of the particulars. They have no idea of what the language is here. I didn't come over here to have...
Isn't this the lady who wanted to pass Obamacare so that they could read it? Like after it was passed, she goes, let's really dive into this thing now.
So you're the apologist for the Obama, excuse me, God forbid.
Madam Speaker, I'm not an apologist. I'm asking you serious questions because so many people are in desperate need right now. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
When was the last time...
Let me respond to you.
Let me ask you, when was the last time, Madam Speaker, when was the last time you spoke with the President about this?
See, here we go.
I don't speak to the President. Speak to his representative.
Why not call him and say, Mr. President, let's work out a deal. It's not going to be everything you want, not going to be everything I want, but there are so many Americans right now who are in desperate...
Why is she like the de facto leader of... I know she's the Speaker of the House, but she's like the head of the Democratic Party. And I feel like a lot of Democrats even don't like her. Like, I mean, at least when I'm in my liberal moods... Because I feel like, when you're gender fluid, where sometimes you're a man and sometimes you're a woman, I think I'm politically fluid, where sometimes I am very liberal. Like the environment, I'm like, for some reason, except climate change. I think climate change is kind of, like climate change really affects California. Not Texas though. I don't understand that. But like I'm big into helping the environment. I know we have a trash system, but I do think we need to eliminate a lot of like styrofoam is kind of useless to have around. Like there's a lot of materials that we can just stop mass producing to at least help out the environment a little bit. I drive a Toyota Corolla, a 2020, get some good gas, and yeah, we have waste management. We do great, but I'm just saying, like a lot of things I do like start to go liberal. I like prison reform. I'm big into that. There's things that I do that are very liberal, but when I look at Nancy Pelosi, I look at her and go, I'm a Republican. Like, this is to me like, and I don't understand. People look at her with like this great reverence. Like we love her. To me, she's a female Donald Trump. I mean, that's all it is. Like, listen to her talk. Does she sound like we talk about Donald Trump sounding like a buffoon? Check this out.
That's why they can't get along and why they don't talk.
It's like two Donald Trumps trying to yell at each other. Like, but she doesn't have awesome tweets like "Go big or go home, baby." Best move by Trump too is making that public, because I feel like even $1.8 trillion is a lot of money, and if Democrats are really like no, we need 2.4. It's like, for what? Tax the rich then. Ask Jennifer Aniston to cover your check.
And then they talk about, the national debt. We need to increase taxes.
Yeah. Oh.
What makes
But you're going to
me
increase the
amused,
debt by 20%.
if it weren't so sad, is how you all think that you know more about the suffering of the American people than those of us who are elected.
Wow. I can't even listen to this. We watched her video. We watched the video of that guy. We did a Fiend of the Week just driving around her district. They legit, we had Benny A. Johnson footage of just driving around the Nancy Pelosi district. There were sprinklers on the street for the homeless people to shower with. There was BLM and ACAB spray painted on buildings. It's insane. Like, there's no way. How could she say that she knows more about this suffering? She has a $10,000 ice cream collection in her mansion in San Francisco. Is this lady really trying to talk about the American people? Does she mean the AOC? What does she mean? Who does she talk to that lets her know, here's what I'm really dealing? Go to any of your homeless people on your street, Nancy, and really see what you can do to help them. California, whatever. I'm going to hit play.
Them to represent them at that table. It is unfortunate that we do not have shared values with this White House, and that they have in their bill, why don't you talk about in their bill, a tax break for the wealthiest families in the country, while they cut out the earned income tax credit for the poorest families in our country and the poorest children in our country. That we have to fight with them to get them to address the coronavirus crisis, because they have said it was a hoax. It was magical, it was miracles.
I agree with Kevin. This lady's not. Trump's awesome compared to this.
And that's why we find ourselves in this situation. I feel very confident about the knowledge that I bring to this, but more importantly,
I don't.
the knowledge that our chairs
don't make jokes.
Science-based, academically documented, institutionally suggested in terms of what the cost would be to do it, and to do it that way. And about, we talk about child care in this situation. We talk about safety in the workplace. Safety in the workplace.
We got it. She doesn't know what she's talking about. This is so sad. Like, she's really, now I'm Republican again. So I can't, she's literally holding $1.8 trillion away from these American people that she knows so much of the suffering of. And she's not going to let them have any money. And she even admitted that she thinks Trump's rushing this $1.8 trillion to get his name on checks in front of people.
I never got a check. Who doesn't use direct deposit for the taxes?
Oh, well, I use that, but it still says, like, even on, like, if you read, like, the statement from your bank, it still says, hey, Ryan, this is for you, buddy. Love Trump. And then, yeah, exactly. Kev be cool in the chat. Who wrote The Art of the Deal? There we go. And, yeah, Nathan Weller says, this lady's cutting a fucking terrible promo. She kind of let me down there. I was kind of hoping to see why people liked her so much, but none redeemable qualities. All right, here we go. This is just the audio because we're on YouTube, but I need you to hear this.
The first ever Irish-born WWE champion.
These words are true. Signed in new release. Wow, Sheamus looks so young and ready to go.
That's what Sheamus is. Look at Mark Henry.
So Mark Henry's in the ring with Theodore Long, who's gonna fight Mark Henry at the pay-per-view at SummerSlam? Nobody should fight him. He's unstoppable. He's the world's strongest man. And he's a bad guy, by the way. And this made him a good guy.
Hi, Teddy. Teddy, if you're looking for a fella to fight him, I'll fight him.
Yeah, buddy. I'll fight him. You looking for a fella to fight him? I'll fight him.
I'll fight him.
What the hell do I gotta lose?
Fella to fight him, I'll fight him.
I wish I was there. We need to bring back crowds. Crowds of wrestling is way better. If I was there, I'd be going ape shit, man. I would be losing my shit to that. So I wanted to look more into this Kyle Rittenhouse thing. Before we do, Indigenous Peoples Day became also known as the Portland Day of Rage. I know. Like, I know. Come on. So, who did bits? 25. You should check out this song. It's the same guy that performs Skynut, if you remember that song I showed you before.
Oh, no.
We'll get to it, Sonic. You know, we're trying to duck out in 0 minutes. This was supposed to be over. So I'll copy this. Let me copy this. Put it on my list. But yeah, it's so Indigenous Peoples Day, Zach. Did you celebrate? Did you get the day off?
No, I didn't, because I'm white.
Okay, so I see in the chat here that we're not doing any Skynut. He's saying it is not Skynut, but if it is Skynut, that'd be pretty fun. So Columbus Day. What are your thoughts on this? There's so many people hate Christopher Columbus. So many people still try and still love him. I've been told different things from even my own family talking about, how he came over and slaughtered natives, which isn't necessarily true when you look up the Columbian Exchange. What are your thoughts?
I don't know why we celebrate him at all. Like, he landed here. Like, he got lost. He wasn't trying to come here. He's trying to go to India. That's why Native Americans are called Indians.
No,
I don't know.
I do agree with that, where it is like, it is a little bit shocking that that many people.
He was lost. Why are we celebrating?
He was lost. Well, I think we're not celebrating the fact that he was lost and found the country. At least from my research that I kind of did yesterday and today. So Portland's Day of Rage protest, which ramped, damn it, through the city, targeting statues of controversial historical figures. Now, this is my favorite. The first statue that they terrorized is Abraham Lincoln. So Abraham Lincoln,
well, he was white. So.
He gets taken down on Day of Rage. Theodore Roosevelt. It began with a group looking to decolonize society, abolish colonial systems that promote racism. That's their goal here, is to get rid of all of these relics.
Can they point out a society that hasn't colonized somebody before? So it's just indigenous people? Like, if you were there, you got to stay there. You don't go anywhere?
Oh, I don't even know what Abraham Lincoln has to do with colonization. So, but despite the group's clear call to action on social media, law enforcement and Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler say those who perpetrated Sunday night's violence and destruction may be hard to identify and arrest. Now, this is where everybody says Antifa is an ideology. They are not real. No, they're real. I mean, there was a Twitter account that was posting everything to do. So let's stop pretending that we can't get an IP address. So it looks like people broke into the Oregon Historical Museum and stole a priceless artifact. The artifact, at least, has since been recovered, though it sustained considerable damage. I'm sure it did. I'm sure it was spray painted. I'm sure it was used like Chop Chaz. They needed to get hazmat in there to take care of it afterwards. So they've had over 100 days of protesting, right? And clearly, now when they're doing... So Oregon Live kind of noticed this, but there was a call to action. Often anonymous organizers spread rapidly among left-wing activists on social media and come together in a matter of hours. So these guys can organize in hours, which again... Antifa, it's not like they have a website, joinantifa.org. Like, no, it really is like you already have to know how to get in. You have to watch.
You got the dark net, bro.
You got to subscribe to Woke TV on Twitch and talk to those people. Protest organizers using Twitter account Generational Resistance started promoting an Indigenous Peoples Day of Rage only the day before. So it took one day to organize all this chaos that happened. The outlet notes, and this is the Oregon Live that I'm reading here. The event generated an immediate interest in activist circles that have demanded an end to systemic racism and police brutality since the killing of George Floyd by Minneapolis police. Oregon Live puts the killing of George Floyd. I agree. I think he was kind of killed. I don't know. Everyone's talking about fentanyl. I don't know. Jury's out. The group, which seems oddly familiar to nearly every other anarchist and anti-fascist, anarchist or anti-fascist. Like, it's funny how those are the same things. Where it's like you're either an anarchist or an anti-fascist. We're in that group. That's us. They released a vague mission statement. We stand to decolonize ourselves and decolonize society by working to abolish colonial systems rooted in racism and build a community rooted in liberation, and called for the abolition of law enforcement, prisons, and capitalisms. So now Colin Kaepernick is touching on a new thing. We need to abolish prisons. And why are we abolishing capitalism? What is this about? Do we just want to stay home and collect checks? I don't understand. Nathan Weller says Mustafa Ali needs to tell all his boys to stop. We need to get T-Bar under control here in Portland. What do you think? Do we need to end law enforcement, prisons, and capitalism?
Been Boaz for a long time.
Oh, we got a new follower. I'm trying to read the name before it goes away. AJM_Twitch sucks is now following. He might have been leaving comments somewhere else, and I just didn't see him anywhere. I have the Twitch, so I have this restream chat thing, and it shows me everyone. So there were a few YouTubes that I kind of just let go. I got a couple. Ric Flair put yo yo yo. Ian Parsley put God bless the United States of America. So there were some YouTubers popping in and out tonight. Obviously, we're Twitch boys. Facebook is read only, so I'm not going to see if anyone writes in there. But what do you think, Zach? Law enforcement, prisons, and capitalism, is this it? Do we need to get rid of these? That'll fix all the problems of the world?
Capitalism, you will never convince me to get rid of it. Communism's the other option. That doesn't work. It's been proven.
No, clearly. Police,
need them. Never don't need them. Prisons, I think, is somewhere we can really improve. Especially like everybody knows, like you go to prison, it's just all fucking gangs. You got to be in a gang or you're gonna get fucked up. I had a cousin who's been in prison a bunch of times. Nice. He's like half white, half Mexican. Had to stick with the white guy so he wouldn't get fucked up. Like they're not rehabilitating people in prison. Like it's just. No, it's the opposite. Like they're getting groomed just to go back out into a gang instead of like they're not getting therapy. They're not fucking getting medication. They're not, some do. A couple people do here and there. Maybe they start going to church.
And no, 100% I agree with you because I definitely see that as well. Where prison does just seem like once you're in there, it's the kumite. It's fight to survive. It really is like. Yeah, there's not like this. You expect it to be like, okay, you go to prison for marijuana or whatever. I mean, you really think that, or illegal drug possession, whatever it is. You sit down with someone every day where they explain to you why what you did was wrong. They lay out all the rules and laws in front of you and explain this, and this. Here's what you can do to get your life on track. Hey, we're going to prepare you to get a job somewhere else. Like it should be a place where you actually have some one-on-one time where they rehabilitate you. But from what I've seen, it's just like being put in timeout. Okay, you don't get TV whenever you want. You only get to watch it on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, nothing you can say. Yeah. Nothing's gonna change what you've done to me. Now it's time to shine. I'm gonna take what's mine. Dig it. Take what's mine. Nothing you can say. Nothing's gonna change what you've done to me, Now it's time to shine. I'm gonna take what's mine. Oh yeah! You're gonna burn in my light. Dig it! That's the Randy Orton song. If you didn't know. But yeah, I agree. Like I've been on here talking about prison reform forever. If it costs us $29,000, $25,000 to keep somebody in prison, why are we not creating a savings account for when they get out? Why are we not? Why not as a part of rehabilitation? Why aren't we putting them in other communities? Why are we just throwing them right back? All right, hey, you're from Youngstown, Ohio. We're going to give you a bus ticket to Youngstown, Ohio. Maybe we need to put them somewhere else where they can kind of restart. They can redesign, rebuild, and reclaim. I think they're...
Well, dude, You got to go to the next level because I think the biggest problem is fucking prisons being for profit.
Yeah.
Like that's where capitalism's gone a little too far. They should not be for profit. So take that 29,000. It probably really cost 10 when people aren't making money off of it.
Right. And
take the other 10 and do something with it.
Yeah, like I just don't understand why, if all of our tax dollars, because these prisons are funded by tax dollars, right? It's not like they have donors. It's not like they're a college. They have alumni that are writing checks. Like, that was great. And maybe, hey, there's another idea. Maybe we actually just turn prisons into a university. It's like, hey, I think they do have that, right? Where you can get a degree while you're in prison.
And yeah, you can, but
if they don't, I'm going to call AOC. I think she would help. I think she would help me on that idea. I don't think anyone else would try and help me with that.
They should just do it like, I don't care what you're in there for. You don't get out until you complete this program.
A group of 200 people ultimately gathered to topple both Lincoln and Roosevelt. So when people keep telling me Antifa is not real, here you go. 200 people were able to organize within a day to tear down some statues using Twitter. It's not like they're using a secret channel. Twitter! Twitter.com/Vleeties. So, however, they're having trouble identifying it because it is like Trump said the radical left fools in Portland don't want any real help, or don't want any help from real law enforcement, which we will provide instantaneously. Vote! ! So that was what Trump's response to this whole thing was, because the police chief said during the press conference, he said that let me see. He said, however, when asked, Lovell couldn't say who the organizers of the event were and if they had ties to Portland's indigenous community. And while the police chief said Portland police had known about the protests in advance, they had no idea where demonstrators intended to march or what they planned to do. So I don't know. It seems like everyone's still asleep. I don't know. And I even, I talk about this constantly with everybody. Like, I'm so burned out on politics. I'm so burned out on riots, and I'm so burned out on all this stuff. But it just keeps coming up. I sit here to write a show, and like the first thing that's trending is like, fuck Christopher Columbus. And I'm like, why? Why? So I look into it because Indigenous Peoples Day really sparks from this hatred of Christopher Columbus. Now, you even brought up, I don't know why we celebrate this guy. I don't know what the point is of giving Christopher Columbus a day. Now, Christopher Columbus' greatest achievement, I don't think, was actually accidentally discovering America. The Columbian Exchange is the largest part of a more general process of biological globalization. I'm having trouble talking tonight. Biological globalization that followed the transoceanic voyaging of the 15th and 16th centuries. Ecological provinces that had been torn apart by continental drift millions of years ago were suddenly reunited by oceanic shipping. Now, I will say this person automatically assumes that I believe in Pangea and that the tectonic plates and the earth split apart. And now all of a sudden it just stopped moving. Who knows why? Nobody knows why. It just stopped. Yeah, okay. I believe in Pangea. I'm just that was me being silly. So this is what he gets a lot of credit for, is creating the Columbian Exchange, where people did start moving goods from Asia, from Africa, from Europe, from America. All of the stuff was because of Christopher Columbus and his oceanic voyages. Now, Alfred W. Crosby divided this into 3 categories. The first one being diseases, which, I guess you can say, oh, well, he's a dick. He brought diseases over. But, you look at 2020. We tried to stop people from bringing diseases to America, and everybody was like, what? You can't do that. It's just going to happen naturally, which it did. So animals and plants. So diseases, animals, and plants. So essentially what he did was, now if you look at the diseases, it says that Native Americans hosted none of these, all of these were new diseases: measles, smallpox, influenza, mumps, typhus, whooping cough, plenty others. But all of that came from the Atlantic. Yellow fever, malaria, all of this stuff was new to Native Americans, so it killed off a humongous portion of their population. However, some of them did build immunity to it. It's like they'd never been exposed. Now they were, but it does show they plummeted by a lot. But can you say that he killed them though?
Well, first of all,
it's a disease.
how did anybody ever accurately count how many Native Americans were there before when nobody knew that they were there, and then counted how many were left after?
PolitiFact.
They fact-checked it? Oh, didn't know.
The same people that say
Sorry.
we shouldn't celebrate Columbus because he raped and did other things are the same ones who are burning down the country over a rapist being shot. Daggers from Trash Gamer in 1997. Daggers. Did Christopher Columbus rape people? I didn't even know that. He did bring over animals as well. Horses, pigs, cattle, goats, sheep. Animals that had never been to the land that is now known as the United States. So he brought over these new animals. So there were new animals for obviously for farming, for eating. Why not? Fun stuff there. You know, they were able to build an economy off of having some of these animals. Of course, you know, the Native Americans were very big into killing bison, buffalo. So then buffalo got to now move back to Europe. They got to sample that meat. And plants were another one. Corn, potatoes, sweet potatoes, tomatoes, peanuts. All of this stuff is now being brought back and forth between America and Europe. So, as if 6 million weren't murdered, is what Kevin is saying. They counted the Jews as well, a surplus of 3 million after one of the world wars. Interesting, as if 6 million weren't murdered. Mods are sleeping, is what he says. Everyone's sleeping. So I didn't even know Christopher. So did he rape people? Is that what people are trying to tell me? Did Christopher Columbus rape people?
Prove it.
Let's look it up. Christopher Columbus rape.
Get a look at greatness.
Shout out to the Trump train for getting a win in fantasy.
Yikes.
Did the Trump train? Did they get a win?
The Trump train beat your buddy.
Oh.
But I had a 98% chance of winning yesterday.
Okay.
And I benched my defense and A.J. Brown to make it a 100% chance because he had nobody playing.
There you go.
A.J. Brown dominated, but I was like, I'm not even chancing it.
This article is written by Rapid City Journal, and this was written last year, October 2019. Christopher Columbus is an Italian who led Europe's first landing into the Americas from rape to pillage to flat-out murder. Columbus and his men were the first Europeans to commit horrendous atrocities against America's indigenous people. The following list describes a sampling of reasons why Columbus was an awful person, with information drawn from Howard Zinn, who's been debunked several times. All right. I'm not ever going to read that, because Howard Zinn's been debunked. Like, he's not even a historian. Like, that's what's frustrating.
Isn't Christopher Columbus Spanish?
He was Spanish, but he sailed out of Genoa, which is in Italy, so everyone calls him Italian. Isn't that right?
I don't know.
Get a look at greatness.
Christopher Columbus, Spanish, or did he sail out of Spain? Maybe he's Italian and he sailed out of Spain. I know Genoa, Italy is in here somewhere. He was born in Genoa.
Like the salami?
Like the place in Italy. I didn't know why the salami.
Genoa salami, dude.
But he did die in Spain, so maybe he lived there. But who knows? Not me, because I wasn't there. So Howard Zinn's book is fake, and everybody believes in. They think this guy raped a bunch of people. Well, here's the CNN article.
He was Italian. This is what's wrong with America's.
We don't
fucking
even know who
education
Columbus
system.
is. We didn't even know.
He has his own day. I don't even know where he's from.
Well, we knew it was Italy or Spain.
Where's
knew
Martin Luther King from?
Selma, isn't he? Isn't he from the South? Isn't he from like Selma, Mississippi, or something like that? We'll do
That's
that.
just the story they've told you.
That'll be the next episode. So I don't know. The Columbian Exchange seemed like a pretty. I mean, other than diseases, I guess, but those were going to come regardless. So the same with the pandemic. We tried to prevent it, and it came. Whoops. But yeah, with this Columbus thing, I don't want to read Howard Zinn's information about it because it's not true. He's been debunked as other historians. Like, it's one of those things where, like, the anonymous source, a.k.a. Howard Zinn, says one thing, and then 21 other reputable sources come out and say, he's wrong. But, no, we're just going to let it go. So, yeah, it's astonishing. So,
well, I don't know how. I mean, I guess back then, was there somebody following him around writing a book saying, "Oh, he raped another one tonight"? Like, how do they know he's just discovered this land and just went raping and pillaging everybody?
You know, I mean, who knows? Maybe he was, but the Columbian Exchange.
He also gets way too much credit. He alone did not set up this entire.
He did it, man.
Transatlantic.
He's a good man.
Trading system.
He did it. I mean, I don't know why. Who did it then? Because it was definitely him.
He's a smart man.
He was I'm reading his book. He was He was a smart man.
I'm on page 5.
Yeah, this is saying he
He's a
died.
smart man.
He died a disappointed man. Is that just because he didn't know where he was? Oh, we're gonna have to dig into Columbus now. But yeah, it's to me it's shocking that Indigenous Peoples Day, because Columbus did all these terrible things that Howard Zinn says he did. We're gonna need more information because I don't trust Howard Zinn. He's been debunked. He's been refuted. I don't know if you still listen to Crenshaw, but he just had a historian on who literally the whole episode is about how many historians have come out against Howard Zinn. Like, all of his history is bullshit.
Get a look at greatness.
Vleeties, trade me Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You don't even need him. Send me an offer. I'm not trading Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Never! Columbus had powers, damn it. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. So today on Twitter, this will be the last thing. I got a couple other things, but we'll just wrap up with this. Today on Twitter, I went on and voting has started today in Texas. Early voting is now live. And Turn Texas Blue was trending on Twitter. 37.3 thousand tweets. Hashtag Turn Texas Blue. In liberal areas, there was longer lines than normal. People believe that Texas has a real shot at becoming a blue state. I have noticed personally that in apartment complexes and kind of lower, not even lower income, just like more condensed areas, there is a lot more Biden stuff. Like, people really like Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. They all live in apartments. They're all probably from California. So this is their little pocket. I live in an apartment as well, and there's like one guy who has a Biden thing hanging from his patio. He lives on the second floor, so it's like, I'm untouchable, baby. He's from California as well. And I do notice, though, when I'm in like neighborhoods with houses, it's a lot more Trump-Pence. A lot. Like an insane amount. So if you own a home, it seems like you want Trump to be the president. If you live in an apartment, it seems like you want Biden to be the president. So here's my problem with this. So I can find out exactly from Twitter how many hashtag Turn Texas Blue tweets there were. However, I also searched hashtag Keep Texas Red. Why don't they give me the same number of tweets on that? Why doesn't it tell me how many tweets there are? I was trying to figure it out. Like, is there a way I can just see? I would like to at least see a little bit, how many, because it's easy for Twitter to say what's trending and then not explain to me why is Chuck Knobloch trending? Oh, Altuve committed his third error. So, okay, I was like worried. I was like, I'm in my Texas thing. Geezy, did you talk to your neighbors? I heard you got some Biden neighbors.
That was my old neighbors.
Oh, good.
I was at my old house, and I was there by myself. House is empty. About to text the realtor, like, hey, house is ready. We're leaving. We're out. And I look around.
This is
like,
not
fuck,
good.
we didn't vacuum.
Oh, boy. Watch out.
Oh, boy.
Thank you, Quigley.
So I had to go over to the neighbors and borrow the vacuum. And I went up to their front door, and they had the full door sign, Biden Kamala
Harris,
2020.
Man. Going
like,
for
oh,
it.
Fuck. These are the only ones I ever talked to.
Can't blame them.
But, dude, so I moved from West Valley, which when we moved here, people were like, you bought a house in West Valley? Like, I guess it's the ghetto out here.
Someone did.
I was like, dude,
yeah.
I'm from LA. Like, it's not a big deal. And it really wasn't. But I moved to, like, what would people know? Like, it's like the Rancho Cucamonga when it was still Rancho. Like, it was still new.
Right.
Like, my house is, like, 2 years old. And first day, I'm unloading the truck, and at, like, 10 o'clock at night, my neighbor comes over. He's like, what do you need help with? I'm like, huh. So this is why I fucking moved out of West Valley.
Yeah, you see, you're in a good neighborhood. Or you're in a happy neighborhood, at least. I mean, people are more coming forward. And so, but here's the thing with voting, at least. I still, even when I start, now, first of all, Turn Texas Blue is no longer trending. I don't know if they're listening. But I'm just trying to see how many tweets there have been for Keep Texas Red. I mean, everybody, like, if you, like, Doc Crease 1 hour ago, if you like socialism and anarchy, sure. Personally, I prefer a free market and a thriving society. Hashtag Keep Texas Red. I just want a number of how many fucking hashtag Keep Texas Red tweets there are. Because I have a strong feeling that Twitter will say it's trending, and just because they want it to be trending. Am I a conspiracy theorist with that thought?
No, man, I'm actually just because I'm interested, because there's so many fucking people moving to Utah. I just Googled Keep Utah Red, and it's not a thing, but an article came up from earlier last year. How long will Utah remain a red state?
Yeah.
And it says 10 years or less, some experts argue. I'm like, oh, fucking 10 years. Okay.
It's astonishing to me. Like, and it's also, I love that the Californians are moving out of California and voting. And I've been very critical of my California brethren because they live in a state with like the most homeless people. They live in a state with the highest taxes. They live in a state with where they have rolling blackouts for their electricity because they live in a state where Edison owns the power. I mean, they own it. You rely, like, I don't have that here. I have my own electric company. I mean, I get to pick. It's amazing.
Yeah, my own electric on my roof.
Yeah, yeah. So you get panels on your roof, but they're voting for all these things, and they're paying all this money, and then they move to these other states where it's all red, and they're like, "How could you guys vote red?" It's like, well, you left the blue one. Why are you coming here to make it blue? Do you not understand? There's a pattern. Go to Nancy Pelosi's district. There's a pattern. There is clearly a pattern. I don't understand why I'm so blind. I don't know why people are so blind. Like, it really is. Like, if you're leaving a blue state to go to a red state, maybe keep it red for a reason. Maybe you moved there for a reason. It was red. Costs were low. Taxes were low. I mean, Texas is not far off from, we get enough Democrats here, we're going to get a Democratic governor, and then they're going to be like, hey, you know that whole no state income tax thing? That was a joke.
Bye-bye.
We are bringing back those income taxes. So, yeah, I am about hashtag Keep Texas Red. And I wanted Kyle Umlang. He says hashtag Keep Texas Red. Wait, let me read this. He replied to Blue Texan. So Blue Texan said, with 5 more hours to vote, Harris County has already broken the single-day record for early voting, over 68K and counting. That's from @BlueTexas 2020. So now Kyle Umlang, he tweets hashtag Keep Texas Red. A Texan loves his guns. We don't support politicians who murder babies. We're against liberals packing our Supreme Court. We love our oil, not some clean New Deal. We hate states who support treason, rioting, and burning down our cities. We're not Oregon. We're red. That's pretty good. I don't know. He might have won me over. I need somebody to win me over the other way. Maybe that's what it is. I need someone to come out for the Democrats other than Orange Man Bad. Give me actual policies. Let me know what will actually change that will actually benefit me. Let me know, because they don't do that. You know, there's nothing they say that makes me. What about health care? It's like, I take care of that on my own. I don't know why that's something I need to vote for. Well, so-and-so needs health care. They can get it. There's Medicare. There's other ways they can get help. There's other options. I don't know why we have to raise our taxes to. Why don't we just tell doctors, hey, you're not going to make as much money? Let's do that and see if the doctors want to still be a thing.
You know, you could do. You could just move to fucking Canada.
Hashtag defund doctors. Yeah, maybe we should. Yeah, exactly. Go to Canada, guys. See how it works. Like, let us all know how that goes. Go see Nathan Weller. Cheer 25 in the chat. Shout out, Hero of Sin, my prezi Donald Trump for working through COVID. Yeah, he got COVID and he kept working. Tulsi Gabbard is the best Dem out there by far, by Gump Nasty. Yeah, she did go pretty hard on Kamala during the debate. Christian Walker, my friend on Twitter. Conservative women have bigger balls than liberal men. That's sexist and not true, I don't think. Dodgers lost game 2 tonight, so now they're down 0-2 to the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves are actually making it look pretty interesting. And then the Tampa Bay Rays are up 5-2 on the Houston Astros, and they're trying to make it what looks like they're trying to go up 3-0. So the Astros postseason woes, I mean, they look good until this series. Now the woes just came out of nowhere. So, geez, I know nobody's been watching baseball this year, but can you imagine the Tampa Bay Rays, Atlanta Braves World Series? Is that, no offense, guys, that's a snoozer. That is a snoozer. Would you watch that? Do I got you for that?
What round is it right now?
We're in the CS, man. Whoever wins these games are going to the World Series. So we can have either Dodgers and Astros rematch. We can have Dodgers and Rays, or we can have Astros and we can have Astros and Braves, which interesting. Astros and Dodgers, interesting. Like, the least interesting out of all the opportunities is Braves Rays, because it's two teams that haven't been to the World Series in a long time. it's two teams that aren't necessarily loaded with all-stars. I mean, they are. I mean, the talent on the Rays is outstanding. They moneyball the fuck out of this league where they don't spend any money, but here they are in the ALCS. So I don't know. I really we'll see.
Dude, what would you do if the Astros won the World Series this year?
Hey, if they won it this year, they get all the respect because, dude, they really have been talking a lot of shit. Even though they, this video is dedicated. I'll do this. I'll put that up in a second. But if the Astros get back to the World Series, it's proof that they're a good team and they deserve to be there. I just keep saying, look, you guys did cheat. Stop saying you didn't cheat, or they've been real cavalier about. They're still acting like heroes. Like, since they cheated, they deserve some sort of respect. Yeah, exactly. So the Rays have outstanding pitching, and we'll see. And yeah, I think Gump Nasty in the chat says it perfectly. It's actually an interesting matchup, but not for ratings. It's a great matchup. And if you're a diehard baseball fan and you're telling me that the Rays are in the World Series, I'm gonna watch it. I have to see the other Moneyball team in the World Series. Ted Turner's probably loving that the Braves are this far, but again, not a big ratings go-getter. Tampa is not a hot market unless they have Tom Brady involved. And then also, I touched on it on the Red Fraction today, but Nathan Weller, Dak Prescott's foot, or his ankle was broken. Terrible injury, terrifying injury. I feel bad for Dak. Obviously, I mean, you see that happen. It's funny. One of my buddies actually, when the injury happened, he had said, "There goes our season," and my initial response was, "There goes his career." Like this.
Yeah.
That looked so bad. The foot
was almost backwards.
If there was no skin, he would have no foot. The skin was holding the bone together. Like, it was just, holding it in the same leg at least. It wasn't holding the bone together. It was keeping it all in one leg. And, I just felt so bad for Dak, and I was like, oh no. And in my head, and I know guys are coming back from pretty horrendous injuries. I thought his career was over. I was like, that's it. If your ankle breaks like that, I can't imagine your ankle ever being able to do what he does ever again. Now,
but then the same weekend, Alex Smith came back.
And Alex Smith's injury was different, mainly because the ankle wasn't involved. Now, I know that's going to sound stupid, but I've heard other people talk about this. The ankle is a joint. So the way his ankle broke, it's bones and the joint, all that's got to be put back together. Alex Smith was fibia and tibia, which was really just the shin.
Which they almost had to amputate.
Well, that's because he got a flesh-eating bacteria as a part of it. I don't know how he got it. I am never playing football in Washington, but he gets a flesh-eating bacteria, and yeah, I mean, it's horrific. That E60 they did, where they're literally just taking like an ice cream scooper and just scooping off his leg. Have you seen it? You need to watch it. It's wicked gnar. They're literally, he's just in like his 17th surgery, and they're just in there like scooping skin and scooping muscle out of his leg. And like they show a picture, it looks like it's just a little wimpy leg when they're done. And he wears like this huge brace, and they show him kind of trying to run around with his kids. And I'm like, Alex, you don't need to play football anymore, dude. Like, you did it, man. Good for you. You were the number one pick. You had a rocky start. What did he have? 4 offensive coordinators in 4 years. He figured it out when Harbaugh got there. He had a good career in Kansas City. They drafted Patrick Mahomes, which I can't blame Kansas City for going with Mahomes. He went to Washington. He was doing okay. You did it. But it was exciting to see him come back. Now, and he even got sacked a few times because the Los Angeles Rams defensive line has never gone away. They still have Aaron Donald. There are some beasts on that defensive line. So this team they should be leading that NFC West. It's so funny that they're getting the Seahawks are outstanding this year, but it is funny to see where they're at as far as the Rams are, because they should be better than what they are. However, yeah, it was good to see Alex back out there. I just think Dak's injury, including the ankle, I don't know. For all I know, he's going to come back and be fine next year. And then Nathan Weller's asking what about his contract, and I wanted to tell.
That's what pisses. If I was Dak, I'd be so fucking pissed off that you wouldn't give me a contract, and this is the one thing everybody says about playing a contract out is you got to risk the injury. His career might be over, and they wouldn't fucking pay him.
Well, that's the thing. That's the argument. Is the rumor is, and now from what I've heard from multiple sources, Peter King, Mike Florio, all my favorites, there was an offer on the table. Now, it wasn't top 5 money, and that's where Dak wouldn't sign. Dak wanted top 5 money over long term, and Jerry said, "I can't give you top 5 money because I gave Zeke top 5 money." I gave Jaden Smith top 5 money.
Not my problem.
I'm giving all these other positions top 5 money. I got Amari Cooper. I got CeeDee Lamb. I got you all these weapons and tools. I want to keep everyone long term. If you take top 5 money, I can't keep any of these guys long term. And that is what ultimately happened. Dak and his agent, and Dak has even said he makes more money off the field anyway. He's on every fucking billboard in Dallas. I mean, he's selling mattresses and shit. Like, drive down 635. Zach, where are you? Drive down 635 right now. Go past Dallas North Tollway. Go down to 75. Then take 75 into downtown. I mean, he's everywhere. Jerry was secretly thinking that ankle's about to snap, and then he signed Andy Dalton.
Snap, damn it.
That ankle's going to snap, damn it. I got to get it back.
No, but I that's not even the worst part. Like, to me, the worst part is they franchised him and wouldn't let him go anywhere.
Well, what do you see? Now he's getting what, $37 million this year. That's
he's not going to want less after you franchise him. So just fucking let him go or trade him or do something.
He still would have got hurt somewhere, maybe. But I don't know what
not their problem.
I don't know what the difference is. Well, it's still in this regard, it's still not their problem. I mean, everyone made. Here's the thing. I feel bad for Dak Prescott. Does he deserve more money? First of all, $37 million. Come on, I'm never going to make that much money either. Dak didn't want to go anywhere. They wanted to work out a deal. Dak didn't sign the deal they worked out. I mean, it's everyone's fault.
Dude, you and Kevin, are you guys not fucking capitalists? Get the most money you can make.
Yeah, Jerry Jones is like, dude, I'm trying to build a championship team so I could sell more shirts, sell more tickets, sell more.
I don't want to hear anything about capitalism until you guys quit saying, well, it's a lot of money. It's fair for everybody. Get as much fucking money as you can.
I'm the capitalist. Jerry Jones is the capitalist here. Wake up, Zach. Get red pill for a minute. You're over here paying the unions. Come on. The red pill is, I'm Jerry Jones. I have 100 pennies. And I can give Dak.
Jerry Jones is the one who implemented the salary cap.
I can give Dak Prescott. Exactly. Capitalism at its finest. I can give you 35 pennies.
A salary cap is not capitalism.
But now I only have 6.
Do you have a salary cap?
You know why he did it though? To save his fucking money. He's a baller. You keep making arguments for Jerry Jones being a capitalist. You realize this. So
I know he's a capitalist.
I'm a small.
Capitalism is not. Oh well, I mean it's kind of fair for everybody. That's fucking communism.
And Dak is getting as much money as he can. He's doing side hustles. Like I don't go to my job every day and demand a new contract. Like no,
you should.
He's getting a mattress. Dude. Have you bought a mattress? Go get a Sleep Number bed in Dallas.
Trump bought me a mattress
without seeing his face everywhere. Go. What else does he have out here? TXU Energy. I mean, he's everywhere, dude. I mean, that's the thing. Capitalism for Dak is working out great. The football, just sign your long-term deal for $25 million a year. Look at Tom Brady. Signed a Tom Brady deal when he was in New England, not a Tampa Bay one. Like, there's plenty of examples of just.
Well, how about the fucking Cowboys win a playoff game and then you trust them to actually put a team around them?
Hey, they would have won a playoff game if Aaron Rodgers didn't make that awesome throw and Jared Cook made that awesome catch.
Now, is his franchise money guaranteed fully?
Oh, 100%.
Even though he got injured?
You get that 37 regardless. There's no signing bonus or whatever. It's just in your pocket, man.
Up front. Cash money. Well, it's really, like 20 after taxes. But
not in Texas. I mean, you get most of that. I mean, you're only paying federal.
Still pay federal at the highest. What's the highest bracket?
I don't know. It's whatever Trump.
40%?
Well, fuck Trump then, if that's how high it is. But either way, I'm just saying, capitalism is on Jerry Jones' side in this one. He's trying to build a team. He bought a team, damn it. I bought me a small business. I'm going to turn it into something.
37% is the highest federal tax bracket.
All right, and that's what Dak's probably going to be in. So, he would be giving up 1/3 of that. So what? 20 million. So either way, with our friend Daiquiri, I think, and I'm not trying to blame him. I'm not blaming him, but I think that everyone who's mad at Jerry Jones for not just giving him $38 million, he's trying to build a fucking team. I mean,
no, he's not. When you pay all the other guys as much as you did, they're not. You paid Amari Cooper way too fucking much.
Dude, Amari Cooper's a great receiver. What are you talking about? Well, how much did he, I don't even know how much he got paid. I don't know how much he got paid, but if you look at this by percentages, he did not want to give more than 1/3 of his salary cap to one guy. I don't think that's crazy. As a 53-man roster, 55-man this season.
Let's see. What is...
Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith got a lot of money. They needed somebody on defense, even though their defense is garbage. Dak wasn't owed anything. So here's from Kevin. Dak wasn't owed anything. He got paid as much as the top QB this year. Absolutely. He's making top QB money this season. He had the option for a long-term contract. It wasn't $38 million a year like he's getting paid this year. But if he was going to get paid $22 million over the next 8 years, sign that motherfucker. Why not? You're nodding your head. You're on the player's side.
No.
I'm usually
no. I'm just. You guys are not capitalists.
What do you mean?
The market. Patrick Mahomes just got a 10-year fucking contract. That's the market.
And then
and you're just saying, oh well, you know, he's
gonna
get whatever.
watch in 6 years when the Patriots are what's their names? The Chiefs don't have any money. Look at Tom Brady's career. He's never been a top 5 QB. So if you want to talk about capitalism or winning championships, it looks like Tom Brady has done it right, where he makes all of his money on Dodge commercials and shit. He gets paid. He's like the 13th highest paid quarterback in the NFL every year, and he's won 6 Super Bowls with that mindset. So if you want to get paid the most in football, then yes, sign a Patrick Mahomes deal. If you want to get paid the most in life, where you're going to win championships, you're going to get endorsements, you're going to be on every billboard in Dallas anyway. He doesn't have an Allstate commercial or a State Farm commercial like Patrick, but he's not as good as Patrick, obviously. I mean, we see what Patrick can do. So I don't understand. Like, to me, capitalism goes outside of just your one thing. You don't just get to play football and be like, no, I want the most at this. It's like, fine, go to fucking New York and have Adam Gase pay you. But well, yeah, watch in 5 years when the Chiefs have no money. Edwards-Helaire is going to be a free agent. And they're just going to have to try and draft home runs every year. It's going to run out. Is Tyreek Hill...
see, Kevin knows. Mahomes robbed himself. He should have got double the amount of money he got.
Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely. But he's making money off State Farm. You guys got to understand, man. Kevin says he'll be making money. He'll be making 2020 money in 2027. Like, yeah. You can only imagine, like, if he does win a Super Bowl, like 3 more Super Bowls, and he's, like, still making the same amount. He's like, can I get a commission check or something for, like, popcorn sales? Like,
give me a bonus here.
I need something, man. Like, I'm bringing everybody to this game. I don't understand why you guys are confused. But other than that, yeah, those are my thoughts on Dak Prescott. Speedy recovery. I do hope he comes back. Stephen Jones went on the radio and did say that he is still the quarterback of the future. I know.
Give him a deal.
I know. Give him a deal while he's getting surgeried up. Like, okay, look. I know.
We want to. You want to talk about those numbers again?
Yeah, like, hey,
they're saying you might not walk. We'll give you 20 right now.
And then Kevin's saying they're going to tag him again, or Dak is the king. Sign the tag every year. Tag him again. Keep him for $38 million. Tag him for. I think you get 3 tags, and then after that, if Dak isn't ready to play for whatever million, I mean, let him go. If you don't win a Super Bowl within that time, so pretty much instead of saying he's on a 1-year contract, he's technically on a 3-year. He's on a 3-year, $100 million contract, which isn't bad after all.
Yeah, but that's just, dude. Imagine your job's like, hey, we're gonna pay you really well for the next 6 months, but I don't know what we're gonna do after that.
Imagine my job then says, hey, do you want money or years? I go years, and they go, okay, we were gonna give you $35 million for 2 years, but since you're interested in years, we'll give you $25 million over 10. Like, fuck yeah, bro. Security. I got money. Let's do it. And yeah, Kevin's even saying, why would you go years over money? Good question. If I'm in the NFL, the average NFL career is 3 years. It's been a good run, Dak. Cash out, buddy. I know you wanted that championship, but hey, $38 million ain't bad, my friend. And yeah, we're going to be – Dak is an independent – yeah, we're fine. We're going to be fine. I think Dak made the right decision.
I don't know. Dak should have just – I don't know.
Signed the long-term deal for $25 million a year?
Fuck. I hate the Cowboys anyways. I'm glad they're fucked.
Dude, that's not cool. He's a human being, all right?
Oh no, I said the Cowboys, not Dak. I like.
Well,
Dak.
you're happy because he got hurt, but no, it's that has been going around where a lot of people who are like "fuck the Cowboys" had to be like, well, look at the Cowboys still suck, but it is bad. Like, yeah, like I had that moment where I was like, dude, Dak's career is life. Who gives a shit about the Cowboys? Like, I don't like. Who gives a shit about football? Look at his ankle; it's pointing that way. His knee is pointing that way, and his toes are pointing the other. Something is wrong.
Well, they got the Red Rocket, man. They're good.
Do you know what? I really do have a lot of faith in Andy Dalton. I know he only won one game against the Giants. He did lead a drive where they were able to come back and put some damage up on the board. But I mean, Andy Dalton made it to the playoffs.
He's won as many playoff games as the fucking Cowboys have.
He's won more than Tim Tebow, though, right?
Did he win more than one?
Yeah. Hey, who doesn't know? Greatness! Quigley Johnson says, we didn't get all the simpy in DC when RG3 went down. Fuck him. That's true. He RG3 had like the double injury but his happened in the postseason where it was like season was already over. Redskins were going to be out anyway because their quarterback was hurt. That's just the way it is. There was no way that they were going to come back anyway. Against who were they playing? Seattle that year? But either way, I think that Andy Dalton, the Cowboys are still the favorites to win the East. What do you think?
It's the worst fucking division in football. Anybody can win it.
I'm just saying.
I think it's been like I'll have to fact check it, but it's like until recently they went like 20 years where one team didn't win 2 years in a row. Didn't win the division.
Wait, say that one more time. Oh, there was like 10 and 6 teams that are going in where they're not winning divisions, but they had better.
No, like every year like the Patriots won their division like 20 years in a row.
Right.
For like 20 years, nobody won their division 2 years in a row in that division.
Oh yeah, that division.
Every year was like Eagles, Cowboys, Giants. Like it kept going back and forth.
It was the NFC Beast. When I was growing up, that's what Marshall Faulk called it. Like that's what everyone had called it, was the NFC Beast.
The fucking NFC least right now.
Dude, it's so NFC least because it was like Donovan McNabb. Remember they got T.O. and it was like, shit, the Eagles are really good. And while that was going on, you still had the Eli was Eli was that time. But the Giants were always they were there in the 90s, and the Cowboys were there in the 90s. The Redskins were there in the 80s. Like they always had these like trade-offs of like, these are really good freaking teams in this division. And right now it's not reflective of that at all. Right now they are so least. They're so bad. What I'd like to do real quick before we go is look at the NFC or the NFL standings, because there is a third wildcard team this year. A lot of people are I'm still not all the way sure of what's happening with the playoffs, but there's going to be, you're going to have 4 division winners and then 3 wildcard teams. So, a whole division could technically make it into the playoffs if it all played out that way. So right now, I'm going to rattle off some names. Now, the NFC West. The Rams are 4-1. They are pretty fucking good. NFC West, Seattle Seahawks are going to win that division. I think that's safe to say. You look at their points for, they've scored 169, and then behind them is the Chargers. Behind them is the Rams with 136. So in that division, they're scoring way more points than anybody. They just win games, man. That Sunday night game was fun. They just look so good, even though they almost lost. But Quigley says that wasn't a playoff game where we were winning 14-0. The Redskins were winning 14-0 when RG3 went down, and then they fell apart. It was colossal the way they fell apart. But were they going to win? Was rookie Kirk Cousins going to come in and win the World Series? No. So I think the Seahawks win the West. Now here's the interesting division. The NFC South. Who's winning the NFC South?
The Buccaneers, bro.
Now the Buccaneers are 3-2, so are the Saints, so are the Panthers. The Falcons, I'm going to go ahead and say, are not going to win this division. I think the Buccaneers, with Drew Brees, it's a new team. They're going to put it together, right? They're going to get it figured out. They've given up the fewest points in the NFC South, so that must mean they have a better defense than the other teams. So Buccaneers, Nathan Weller's screaming the Saints in the chat. But I say we go Buccaneers for the South, and then maybe we give the Saints one of those wild card spots. But the East, we've already decided. Guess who's in first place in the NFC East?
The Eagles?
Cowboys, baby, 2 wins. They're the only team.
Oh yeah, you guys pulled that win out.
They're the only team with 2 wins in the East. The Eagles have 1 win, 3 losses, and 1 tie. And the Redskins have 1 win and 4 losses, and the Giants have not won a game yet. And
That's fucking horrible.
Yeah, the best team has 2 wins out of 5 games. So I think the Cowboys win that division. I don't think any of these teams. I can say it again. I don't think that any of these teams are going to make the wild card. I think we get 1 division winner out of there, and there's no one else even sniffing it.
And that's a first round bye for whoever plays them.
The North. Packers, Bears are the 2 teams that are kind of fighting at the top there. Bears have 1 loss. They've gone to Nick Foles. They need time to gel together. I love the Packers, man. I think we all kind of forgot they were a team, and everybody just kind of moved on from them for some reason.
Yeah.
But the Packers are good, and I think the Packers are going to win that North. And reminder, I think Aaron Rodgers, honestly. No, I'm not going to say something stupid. I was like, Aaron Rodgers is going to win. I don't think. I think Russell Wilson is making a strong play for that MVP. I don't think
it's a long season to go, buddy.
I get a quarter MVP or 5/16 of the season, or are they playing 17 games this year? Or is it 16 this year and 17 next year?
I think it's
16 this year. I think with the pandemic they kept it at 16. Bills, Patriots are fighting for that AFC East. Patriots have 2 losses, 2 wins. The Bills did not look good tonight against the Titans. They looked terrible. They looked like they had COVID. But I just think Belichick, he's got those 2 losses out of the way. I think now they're going to tinker enough to where it's like, how many seasons did they start 2-2 and go to the Super Bowl? Isn't that what they always do? They always kind of start off like this and then they just ramp it up.
Well, I mean, one was the Chiefs, right? One was the Bills.
Yeah.
They got to play the Dolphins and the Jets multiple times.
They got blown out by. Remember that season they were 2-2 and they got blown out by the Alex Smith Chiefs? Like it was like, whoa, the Patriots are done. I think they went to the Super Bowl that year. Like it was a weird year where they got blown out and then they turned it around. Like they need a couple weird losses to just come back and tear it up.
Because that's when Belichick can go in the film room and just fucking scream at fucking Cam Newton right in his face and be like, "Oh, okay, I did that wrong."
I'm gonna put I think the Patriots win the East. I know that the Buffalo Bills are technically in first. But Belichick is Belichick. It'll be fixed. I got faith. They look pretty good from like the games they win. They look really fucking good. The North.
I've been surprised. I was worried because their defense. So many starters opted out because of COVID.
They're coming back, right? Can they come back? Is there a chance to re-enter?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say.
Oh, the AFC North is fucking interesting.
That's the big one for me this year. Is like. I think the Steelers. Now I don't know if I've said this publicly. Let's make it public now. Mike Tomlin is my favorite coach in the NFL. I think like you look at what he did last year with Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph. Like they almost were a playoff team. If they had that 7th playoff team, they would have been it. Like,
did he win Coach of the Year last year?
No, I don't even think he got nominated. I don't know who gets nominated. I assume all 32 are nominated. Who did get it? I don't even know. But it wasn't Tomlin. I know that. It was probably
Cliff Kingsbury?
Yes, from the Cardinals?
Sure. They're fucking terrible last year.
Probably the Bengals. No, so I think that now I don't know if this is bold or not. Steelers win the division. I don't think Lamar Jackson or Baker Mayfield are better than the Steelers. Like I don't know. I look at that Steelers team as Mike Tomlin is able to figure out what you're gonna do, and the Ravens and the Browns, even though they're 4-1, they still just seem stupid to me. I don't know what it is. Like something about.
Let me give you this though. The Browns' schedule. So they just beat the Colts. They play the Steelers. So here's the test this upcoming week.
Here's the big test.
But then they play the Bengals. They play the Raiders. But then they play the Texans, the Eagles, the Jaguars. They got the Titans, the Ravens, but then the Giants, the Jets, and the Steelers again.
They have some easy ones, is what you're saying. They got some easy ones.
Yeah. They do have some. I mean, they got to play the Steelers twice still. They got to play the Ravens again. They got to play the Raiders. So
Tomlin
It's
is
not all easy going.
Quigley Cheers 100 or Robot Man 100. Tomlin is a Bush League scrub. He stepped on the field to stop a Jacoby Jones touchdown.
Oh, true. You like a cheater.
Capitalism. That's all I'm saying. He went out and did his own thing. Protect the brand. I think that Steelers win that division. I think that the Ravens and Browns are the obvious wild card spots. And then the West, baby. Raiders are 3-2, and I'm shocked. I did not expect this team to be 3-2. I never do. Derek Carr did not look like Derek Carr this past Sunday. Who is this guy playing quarterback who's not just checking it down?
Well, he did in the first quarter.
Dude, Jalen, my least favorite play in the NFL is dump off to Jalen Richard. I'm like, oh my gosh, can we do something else? I'm so sick of dump off to Jalen Richard. We throw the ball downfield. And he did that, and it worked. It was like a fun shootout where I'm like, John Gruden was so amped up on Monster Energy and Corona when he was going over the game plan with Derek Carr. Oh, it's going to be a shootout today, boys. Oh, I hope you're ready. I'm ready, baby. Serpentine, son. I have a feeling he had so much fucking energy. The Chiefs win the division. Raiders grab a wild card spot. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And then the AFC South. Titans are 4-0, but don't you kind of feel like the Colts are good at football, even though they just lost to the Browns?
I'm still picking the Titans, man. I have confidence in them, surprisingly. They don't care. They don't give a shit about COVID rules.
They don't. What about this?
I think
Houston Texans fire Bill O'Brien, and then they win.
Oh.
They win their game, right? Now they're 1-4. All right, they're only. They're a couple games out of first. No biggie. But what if they run the table here? 12-4. Texans win the division. What do you think?
I hope so. Bill O'Brien deserves all of that. He is such shit. They must have found the pictures he was hiding that he had on them, and they burned them. They're like, fuck it, now we can fire him.
It had to be. He did something. See, somebody loved him. I don't know who loved him, but somebody did. So real quick for the NFC wildcard teams. The Rams at 4-1, I think I love their defense. They got Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald. They should be hanging around in there. So I'm going to give them a wild card spot. I'm going to give New Orleans a wild card spot. And then it's between Chicago and Carolina for me. And I guess you could throw in Arizona. Arizona's going to have to play Seattle some more, Los Angeles some more. They could even drop a couple games. They're good. They're 3-2. But I think that they're not – I don't think they're a playoff team yet, even with that extra playoff spot. I'm picking the Rams. I'm picking the Saints. And then I think I'm picking the Bears, dude. Am I crazy?
Yeah.
Is the Bears crazy? Bears or Panthers?
Bears or Panthers? How long is CMC still out?
I think he's back not this week, but the following. But they win without him. They were 0-2. He goes out.
How are the Bears 4-1? Who have they beaten? They beat the Buccaneers. Okay, they beat the Falcons. Wow.
They're killing
They
it.
lost to the Colts. They beat the Giants and the Lions.
They've beat all the worst teams in the NFL. But now
they're about to get fucking slaughtered. They got the Panthers, but then they got the Rams, the Saints, the Titans, the Vikings, the Packers twice. The Vikings again, Texans, Jaguars, and Lions. So they got some wins in there, but they got some rough games coming up.
And then that Colts game was Foles' first start. The defense came in and just popped him right in the mouth, and they let everybody know, hey, we don't care how many Super Bowls you've won. We don't care. We're here to fuck you up. And they did that. And, yeah, I'm curious to see. Yeah, you're right. They need to play some tougher games. But right now, 4-1 is a hell of a place to be, man. You got 4 wins. Let's say you need 9 to get this wild card spot, or let's say 10. 10's probably more realistic. You're 6 wins away.
Now for a lesson.
You're 6 away.
I've heard these words before.
You are 6 wins away, Chicago.
Go beyond. Plus.
Bears.
Everything is shaking.
The Bears are the best team in the NFL. Better than the Bucs. I know Kevin's kidding.
So you think they need how many wins?
10.
There's not 10 wins there. there's not.
For Chicago?
They could beat the Panthers. They could beat the Vikings maybe 1 out of 2. They could beat the Lions. They could beat the Texans. They could beat the Jaguars. But then they got the Packers twice, the Titans, the Saints, the Rams.
So let's say Carolina's a toss-up. I'm going to say that they beat Carolina. Or they're at Carolina? Other fans there? That's tough.
Oh, Nathan, what's my Super Bowl prediction?
What is your Super Bowl prediction? Patriots and Packers?
Go with the safe bet.
Yeah,
let me see.
I love Green Bay.
No, I would go the Seahawks over the Packers.
I think the Sea Chickens are definitely there.
I don't trust the Bills to make it that deep in the playoffs.
Nope, no Bills. I'm not even going to say Patriots.
The Chiefs might go back.
I like the Steelers, dude. I know
the Steelers are, yeah.
That's a Matty Spice pick.
I still don't think Baltimore can make it that deep. Titans, same thing. They're really good, but they're not a Super Bowl team.
Raiders?
I can't do it, man.
It depends on what Raiders show up. Like, it really does, because the Raiders against the Chiefs.
That's the problem. Those teams don't win the Super Bowl. You got to show up multiple weeks in a row.
The Raiders should not have beaten the Chiefs. I don't get it. How do you lose to the Bills in your own stadium the week before, and then you go to Kansas City and not dominate, but I mean, you just look like you look like the Chiefs. It was like the Chiefs were playing the Chiefs.
Any given Sunday.
They beat Carolina, which was a fun game. They beat the Saints on that Monday Night Thriller. They lost to the Patriots, which, I mean, it makes sense because it's Belichick and Cam Newton, but it was like, can we win a game, man? And then they lost to Buffalo. Yeah, it really was like, oh man.
I listened to the entire Raiders game because I was driving from Arizona through Vegas, and it was on like the entire time. Their commentators are terrible. Now that they're in Vegas, every time they score, they just yell jackpot. Like, this is so lame.
Jackpot, baby.
So lame.
Isn't it Musburger? I thought Musburger was the.
I think it is Musburger and another guy.
Man,
and it's Musburger. Oh, and like a former offensive lineman.
Here's my pick. The Raiders are going to the Super Bowl. Am I a fan? Am I just a fan? Is that why I'm blinded? Let's look at their schedule. They're going to need 11 wins to make the postseason. Maybe 12 or maybe 10. But I feel safer with 11. Now let's look at their schedule.
Well, Kevin's calling me out. I will pick the Patriots right now. I always will. Always will.
We got a bye week. We're going to win that one. Week 7 against Tampa Bay at home. The Raiders can win that. That's a Sunday game. I think the Raiders can win. Is that a Sunday night game?
That's a Super Bowl rematch, and you're going to get fucking stomped.
Oh, my gosh. Rich Gannon is nowhere near the field, hopefully. Is he the
Where's
guy?
Mike Allscott?
Was he doing the commentary? Was it Rich Gannon and Musburger? I think they could beat the Bucks because the Bears just beat them. So I think anyone can beat them. The Cleveland Browns, that's going to be interesting.
You guys will drop that game.
Yeah, the Raiders will lose there. So now we're 4-3. Now we're going to Los Angeles, which we will win.
That's a home game.
That's a home game. Even though there's no fans, it's a home game for the Raiders. So now we're 5-3. Broncos,
that's a loss.
What? We're going to beat the Broncos. We're going to beat Brock Rippin or whatever his name is. Yeah, we beat the Broncos. 6-3. Week 11 at the Chiefs. We're going to lose that game. We're 6-4.
Yeah.
Now we're at the Falcons.
Falcons, that's a loss.
7-4. We're going to beat them. At the Jets, 8-4. Colts.
He'll drop that one.
8-5. Against the Chargers again, 9-5. Week 16 against the Dolphins, 10-5. And then the Broncos.
No. If the Dolphins can beat the Patriots at the end of the year, they'll dominate you guys.
That's not the end. This is week 16. They're going to win. Dolphins will beat the Patriots in week 17. That's where it's going to happen. The Raiders 11-5, calling it now. And you know what? 12-4 if they can win that Colts game. But I don't think they're going to win that Colts game.
So you're gonna win the division. You're not even gonna be a wild card.
No, 11-5 is wild card in AFC West. The Chiefs lost to the Raiders, and that's it. Who else are they gonna lose to? I even
The
gave
Chiefs play the Bills this week.
Okay, and the Chiefs are gonna win.
Then they play the Broncos. That's a win. They play the Jets. That's a win. They play the Panthers. That's a win. They play the Raiders. That's a win. They play the Buccaneers. That's iffy. But then they play the Broncos again. They play the Dolphins. That's a win.
There's no
The
other
Saints,
wins.
The Falcons, and the Chargers. So they got 7 more wins at least.
At least they're gonna win that division. I mean, I think the Raiders go 11-5. I think the Chiefs, at the worst, go 14-2. Like I don't see a bunch of losses in there. There might be one of those weird games where, I mean, the Chargers almost beat them earlier this year, so it could happen. But I'm just saying. Quigley says we got a Foles repeat. Foles is going to win the Super Bowl again. What do you think?
I fucking hate Foles. Why do you bring it? Why do you speak his name?
It could happen. If you ever see Foles in person, is this what you're going to say to him?
I just punch him right in the fucking ear.
Teddy, if you're looking for a fella to fight him, I'll fight him.
I'll fight him.
That's what you're going to say when you see Nick Foles. I'll fight him. You need somebody to
fight
him? I'll fight him. I've been a bad guy until I cut this promo. What a perfect promo. So tomorrow night, the whole effing show is live on twitch.tv/TWFS. I like this quadcast. I think it went really well. We were live tonight on youtube.com/Ryan Van Vliet. We were on Periscope. I don't know how to find it there, but it's there. Facebook. I think it was just on my personal Facebook. I don't know how that works. And, of course, here on twitch.tv/RealVleeties. Now, make sure you're also downloading the audio on-demand version or podcast, whatever you want to call it. I am on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podcast One. Just found out I was on some other podcast called Himalaya. Don't know what that is, but Sonic Gino says that's where I'm at. So you can find me. There's no way to not find me. At least I think I've done it pretty well. And then, Zach, I think for Thursday, if we could do a teaser. You know, it seems like Thursday we kind of give ourselves time to get like a list together or something.
Damn it, man. You played the music. Now I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that's how Discord works. Noise cancellation.
What are we doing Thursday?
Video games. Now, here's the thing. I've been watching Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet. Have you ever seen Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet on Apple TV?
No, I haven't.
It is outstanding. It's so funny. It's Rob McElhaney from It's Always Sunny. It's Rickety Cricket from It's Always Sunny. It's got the Indian Polish guy from Community. It's so funny. You need to watch it. I enjoyed it, but it just got me watching this. And, you know, they had this moment where it was like, what's your favorite game when you were a kid? And, like, everybody knew their answer really quick. And I know my answer. I know what the greatest video game of all time is. I think I've said it multiple times. But we need a definitive list. We need you to put Mirror's Edge down. And I need you to tell me why you liked Mirror's Edge so much.
Ooh, I love Mirror's Edge.
Do you remember that? I came over one night and I was like, I think we were all drunk, but you were playing Mirror's Edge. I was like, you actually have this game? And it would like, I watched you play it for hours because it was like, it felt real parkour. I don't know. It was outstanding. So
we'll talk about it Thursday because there's a story of why that game was so good to me.
It was great. So yeah, we need to go over our top video games. I think that'll be fun for everybody in the chat as well. There's nice chili players. So I was reading quickly, sent a long message. I don't know who we're gonna vote for or who we're gonna raid. Put it in the chat now and I'll figure it out. We'll raid somebody.
So I will warn you, I haven't had an Xbox or a PlayStation since like Xbox 360.
And that's why this is important. Get a look at greatness. Quigley says running that shit up the sideline the forced fourth quarter fumbles go out of bounds in blitz. Oh yeah, NFL Blitz was awesome. The arcade though, you know when I got it with the sticks on like an Xbox, I didn't really enjoy it. I actually preferred playing it at an arcade like a Chuck E. Cheese or something, or like a Michelangelo's Pizza. I was like, this is where we need to play NFL
now. We got to make a distinction here because Time Crisis is going to be in my top.
Put it on there.
Are we going arcade?
Arcade video games. We're gonna get our nerd on. We're gonna be the nerdiest guys one more time as we discuss video games. And I don't even want it to be like, well, I really loved Skyrim because like the graphics and the world building and blah blah blah. Like no, if you didn't like, I played Skyrim for like 61 hours, right, or whatever the timer told me, and it was outstanding. Did it leave a huge impact on my life? Absolutely not. It did not. Did Madden NFL 09 leave a huge impact on my life? No. Madden 10, yes. Did Madden
NCAA 2009?
Is that which one?
Ooh.
2011 with Tebow on it.
No, 2009. I played with Ohio State Terrell Pryor, and I ran a pass play every play.
I don't remember which. It might have been 11 that I played against Evan, but I do remember I was up by probably a field goal, and I had the ball, and it was 4th and 1 on my own 20.
You went for it?
And I did a fake punt. And
he lost his shit.
So we're playing online, right? We're playing Xbox Live, and I get the first down. So it just
he fucking rage quit.
Ripped the headset off. So I couldn't talk to him anymore. He didn't want to talk to me. The next play is Brandon Sane, because I was Ohio State. Brandon Sane, right up the middle, not even I think I was in the I formation. I was in a running formation, and I just halfback dive, go right up the fucking middle, and untouched, 75-yard touchdown. And immediately he quit the game, because it was dude, come on, so he was I didn't talk to him at school the next few days, and then I remember the next weekend he was like, who the fuck does a fake punt on their own 20? I was like, Evan, you're gonna run a 2-minute drill and you're gonna score. To me, it made sense, and it worked. And then you still had a chance to stop me, but I ran it right up the middle. And for some reason, you thought I was gonna run it to the outside. I don't know what your plan was. He probably
trying to run out the clock.
He probably thought it was gonna be an option play. Okay, he's been running the option all fucking game. It's no, dive. I formation. Just dive it, bro. Just get the fullback up the middle and just get 3 yards. That's all I'm asking. On every play, I need 3 or 4 yards. And NFL 2K5 is after 2003. So, yeah, NFL 2K5 was huge for me, but we'll get into it. We'll get into my Clinton Portis apartment that I had. So, until the day that I'm dead, my name is Ryan Van Vliet. Zach, any final words, parting words?
I'm glad to be back. I missed you guys.
See? We're glad you're back, too. It was weird. I was sitting in the big chair by myself. I had to read in the Discord. Broken freaking neck was oh, the solo shows are rough. The hell is this about? What is this about? My favorite game was Fall Guys. I've never played that or looked at it. So I'll do some research. Maybe it'll make
what's good? Bitches, you blind. Check my watch. Better be money all the time.
That means Quigley missed you, too. Put it in the chat who we're going to raid, and let's skedaddle. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in and hanging out. And if you're on YouTube, if you do watch it on YouTube, you can always go to twitch.tv/RealVleeties. Join this chat. We got sound alerts. We got memes. We got Macho Man impressions. It's a party. And now that I know you can't see what I'm pointing at my Twitch. This is where I keep the Twitch chat that tells me things. So, Ultimate Warrior, goodbye, Nathan! Raid Vleeties is what Nathan says. We're going to raid Vleeties. Oh, yeah, we should raid an ASMR person. Goodbye, Gino! Oh, no, that's... Goodbye, Gino, damn it. Gino! Good night, damn it. Kevin, don't go. So let's find... Yeah, we should find an ASMR person and raid the ASMR person and just start fucking... Although they get mad. They're like, this is supposed to be relaxing. We'll figure it out. Ultimate Warrior! Geezy, you talk too much. He just meant that as a joke. We all know that. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, hanging out, enjoying the show. I've been trying to leave now for 10 minutes. I need to get to this screen.
You have one more impression to do.
Oh, what's my other one? Oh, Kevin, are we going to see your dick on TWFS again? And then Kevin...
And he said yes.
He did say yes, but... yes, damn it. Yes. Well, damn, pal. And then thank you for opening my eyes on Pelosi. Yes, she's a fucking monster. Yeah. She is a monster. She's made out of plastic, too. People make fun of Trump for being orange. Her for being made out of plastic. So thank you, everyone. Good night. We did it. Put the raid in the chat. We'll do it.
My body's ready. My heart's on